And welcome back to coverage here of Pro Tour Marvel Superheroes. We are in Amsterdam in the Netherlands. And Paul, we just drafted in the top 8. We have a draft top 8 to decide the trophy here. That's what it looks like right there. We watched Ken Yukuhiro as he drafted an ambitious deck. I'm not sure exactly what to make of it, but we do get to see what that deck actually looks like. Let's take a look at the head-to-head here. This is going to be Ken Yukuhiro versus Timo Bertram in his first top finish.
And, well, Ken's all 4 colors, which we predicted. But what is his primary secondary color?
His primary secondary color. Here's Ken.
Here we go.
Black, white, blue, green.
Wow. Okay, so he's black-green.
Is he?
I'm going to say black-green because there's 5 swamps and 5 forests, right? So we're a black-green. We're splashing.
Okay, but he has 4 actual green spells plus Coming of Galactus.
Yeah, but because the green cards are the only things he can play early.
Exactly. That's why he has so many forests.
But he's splashing We Say Thee Nay.
No way.
He did not have enough playables. There's a decoy ploy in this deck as well.
Wow.
There is the Quinjet. He is not playing. He is not playing the other ramp spell there, right? The restorative technique. So just relying on the Quinjet. Yeah, I mean, this is a black-green deck playing a bunch of white cards and splashing Kang, a counterspell, and a Wiccan. It's got a lot of power, a lot of interaction.
It's not every day
rough.
You see the curve of, Gorilla into Agent 13 into Kang.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
All right.
This looks too greedy. Honestly, this mana base does not look like it can support wins here. Timo Bertram on the other side, did he keep it closer to the vest?
No, he did not. Well, it's a nice streamlined looking blue-white deck here.
Thor, did you get lost?
And then there's 2 mountains and a Thor. I'm not sure that that's necessarily worth it here. We do have a couple of spells you can cast, but I mean, it's not even like if you hit a Helicarrier Strike, it's not even that good. So you need to hit Burdock's Crusade, Trickster Stratagem, or Burrow Backup. So really surprised with the Thor Splash. Certainly a powerful card, but has a couple of land cycles, going to try to make it work. But this might be a rough matchup here for Ken, just because Timo has a mana curve, right? And is primarily a 2-color deck there.
Yeah, he also has Monica Rambeau there, which requires a red mana.
Right?
Maybe
I guess you're doing it anyways.
One more red.
But Thor's double red.
Thor's double.
Double red's kind of hard.
All right, let's bring out our players. There's Ken Yukuhiro in top finish number 9. First top finish here for Timo Bertram from Germany. Big smiles from both of our players. Quick reminder, since this is the top 8, we are going to play best 3 out of 5. First player to win 3 games will win the match. The matchups in this case, the play draw in this case will go to the higher seed. And that's going to be Ken this time.
And Ken's...
Oh, or maybe Timo. Unless Ken decided to draw.
It's possible.
I mean, it actually is possible.
But probably don't want to draw against Timo's deck. By the way, Timo drew both of his mountains.
Which could be a good thing or a bad thing,
yeah, well,
suppose.
couldn't play his Bold Biochemist on turn number 2. But hey, Ken actually, hey, look, if you draw your mana, the deck's pretty solid, right? And he drew the 1-drop and has the Quinjet. So at least for this game, Ken with the mulligan, but will be able to play all of his cards. Meanwhile, on Timo's side here, using one of his 2 aim scientists to go find that missing land here. Probably just going to be leading out with an Ultron drone. Ooh, found a lot more lands there.
Not exactly fireworks here in the early stages, but there's the Quinjet. That's a really good thing for Ken.
Right, because when games get to the point where things slow down and you're just not under a whole lot of pressure, then you have to like Ken's side, especially with his mana draw here. Meanwhile, on Timo's side here, just a bunch of lands. He's probably just going to be running out the same scientists here. Connive away one of those excess lands. Certainly not the second mountain, though, as he does have the Thor in his deck. Big turn here for Ken. There's the counter spell here, and actually keeping it up here.
Instead of casting
Wow.
Herbie?
Could have played a Herbie here.
I guess he does have Spider-Woman as a backup plan as well.
Right, so kind of keeping both options here available. Now, Timo actually drew Trickster Stratagem here, which would be pretty nice because it would kind of open the doors here, right? You can just target the specialist and attack with both of your creatures. But perhaps just happy with this trade, and Ken is like, okay, I'll trade your 1-mana thing. I'll trade my 1-mana thing for your 4-mana thing.
Yeah, that's a good
very
trade
happily.
for Ken, yeah. Timo sitting back with the Ultron drone.
This is
so that he can power that up later, and in the meantime, he's going to go for a power up right now.
Yep.
And Ken's going to use up all of his mana here with Spider-Woman and Secret Agent to lock down the powered up Brave Brawler. Then he's going to play a land. And what else?
Cloak and Dagger here, probably.
Yeah, Cloak and Dagger.
All right. And this is probably...
Well, take a look at the hand.
Yeah, targeting the Ultron drone, but then Ken gets to choose to exile either the Ultron drone or perhaps an interactive spell here in Timo's hand. And Timo does have that Trickster Stratagem, for example. So it could be one of... And Timo's not on land number 6, right? He's got 5 lands in play. So might just take the Stratagem here and just hope Timo doesn't draw land number 6 next turn.
What do you think about Ken choosing to be on the draw?
Oh, he did choose to be on the draw.
Well, he's a higher seed.
He's a higher seed. I mean, I totally get it, right? Just given his deck specifically. I think in most instances you're supposed to play, but you want to maximize your chances of drawing all of your colors, and that extra card could certainly matter here.
Knowing about supervillain lockup in hand is pretty nice for Ken.
Right, yeah, just not going to be turning the Cloak and Dagger sideways here. And actually, what did he take? The Bold Biochemist. Okay.
He must just be looking at it as next turn, you could just go land Bold Biochemist, draw cards, and I can fall behind pretty badly to that.
And Timo going, all right, well, I have other things to do with 6 mana here. Hitting you for 4 and still making a 2/2 this turn.
Yeah, this is why Timo didn't want to trade off the Ultron drone earlier. It's actually pretty good.
Yeah.
For a colorless common, it does work. Here comes the token.
All right. Ken has access to Wiccan or Herbie plus We Say the Nay. I imagine probably just want to go with the Herbie here and have that counter spell up because you can counter the Trickster Stratagem.
Always go with Herbie, Paul.
And hits a land here. Does he want to? Yeah. Plenty of mana here. Has the counter spell up. Doesn't really want to attack with the Cloak and Dagger. Actually just doesn't have any attacks here. There's a 2/2 in play on the other side.
Right.
Yeah, I was like, I wonder what Ken's even considering there.
He's feigning something.
Right.
But he does just have We Say Thee Nay, which should be pretty good here.
Yeah, definitely. Timo doesn't really have a whole lot of other options. No? Well, actually drew U.S. Agent John Walker.
Be a good target for We Say Thee Nay.
Yeah. It's also tempting to just try and target one of these creatures that's locking down something with Trickster Stratagem. The Ultron drone, at least, is still a pretty free attack here if you're on Timo's side. And if you're aware of the splashed We Say Thee Nay, gonna have to try to choose which one you want to get countered first. And
this is going to have Ken tap.
Yeah, Ken, of course, knows about the Trickster Stratagem. Might just let this resolve and keep up the counterspell, because if you keep up the counterspell for next turn, you can play Wiccan and then counter something and then flicker Herbie, for example, and get extra value.
Oh, wow, that's much, much better. How much do you care about U.S. Agent John Walker?
I mean, it is pretty good. It's a pretty big threat, but I think Ken is going for the value play here. And I mean, we created that token, so it did resolve here. But now Timo gets to get in for a pretty big attack here.
Does he get 5 damage?
Looks like
here?
5 damage, yeah, coming in.
Yeah, that's big, and Ken doesn't really have any great way to interact, so he's just going to go down to 12.
Yeah, down to 12. But hey, I mean, this is now the power of Wiccan. Somehow Ken has access to double blue mana here.
Maybe his mana base is great. I mean, that is the upside to what Ken has done here, right? Is that if this game goes long enough and he gets his mana under him, he should have the most powerful deck in the room.
Yeah, very, very possible. I don't know all the rares that other people opened, but certainly, you know, Cloak and Dagger, Coming of Galactus, very, very good top-end cards. So now we got the Wiccan here, 5 mana, 4/4. You can flicker anything, and those permanents come back at the beginning of the next end step here. So if you have any good come into play effects, you can get a lot of value. It doesn't target tokens, notably, so you can't use it to just kill the drone token on the other side. But hey, you can block with Herbie, flicker that thing, if you have a spell that you can play.
Yeah, in this case, Ken's a little more constrained.
Right.
And Timo really does have to open the door as well, though.
Yeah, I mean, it just
the idea of him not casting one of these spells seems not likely.
And now with Wiccan in play, because Wiccan says other permanent, so if you're going to cast this Trickster Stratagem, you're going to have to target the Wiccan here, because if Ken has some kind of spell and you target some other creature with Trickster Stratagem, you can simply just save it and flicker that creature. All right.
Here he goes. Trickster Stratagem on Wiccan.
And this will almost certainly be countered here.
Yeah, and Ken can...
You can play you can pay the teamwork off of the Herbie, right? And because it's going to get, if you want to get the value, might as well tap it, and then exile it, and then it'll come back in and draw you an extra card. You certainly don't want to flicker the Ultron drone, and you don't want to. There's just no good. Yeah, there's just no good targets on the other side.
Yeah, if you flicker U.S. Agent John Walker,
they just get another shield. Right? It is not legendary, the shield that is.
And you can't flicker the shield or the token. The 2/2.
Oh, but does he know about supervillain lockup?
Yeah.
Whatever you teamwork, you can supervillain lockup. So that's is what Ken is considering here. Wow.
That's really funny.
Yeah. Timo actually has the answer. So it's like, what are you okay getting locked up? And he's like, okay.
Target Herbie.
Target Herbie. And I assume he's going to use the lockup here on the Cloak and Dagger.
Yeah, now the way is clear, and he would love he actually has 2 of them in his hand.
Right. So any target, right?
Right. Especially because Ken knows about one of them.
Yeah, and I don't know if Ken is in a position here to attack with the Wiccan anyways. Now, Timo does get in for a decent-sized attacks, though, right? That's a 5-power Ultron drone getting in there.
Yeah, with Ken at 12.
Yeah, down to 7. Will Timo hold the villain? Nope. Gonna use it here.
Gonna use one of them.
Yep. So Bold Biochemist gets returned to hand, so Timo can play it and activate it next turn.
That worked out really well for Timo, all told.
Yeah, but Ken just wants to find more spells here, right? Got that Herbie back. Drew an extra card here. If you can find a removal spell and flicker Herbie again, that would be great. Did not. But found a mana sink play here. Ultron Drone certainly helping gum up the ground here, because all of Timo's creatures are ground creatures. And hey, flickering Ultron Drone is also not terrible, right? If you have the mana, if you can play the spells, you can just generate an extra chump blocker every turn if you need.
Yeah, what if Ken can flicker the supervillain lockup? As long as he doesn't have a tapped creature, it'll just
come into play and just do nothing, right? So Ken really digging for a spell here. Is not interested in maybe blocking here with the Wiccan. Getting in, but remember, he is at 7. However, you have the Ultron Drone, you have the token that comes from it, and you have the Quinjet that you can crew up as well if you need an extra way to block.
That said, the second copy of Supervillain Lockup could take out Wiccan. And
and it absolutely will.
Yeah.
And Ken doesn't
that line of play.
Yeah, and Ken doesn't have any way to save it here. And feels like a really, really great opportunity to do so. If Ken had a spell, you feel like maybe there's a decent chance he would have cast something that turn,
yeah,
right?
And what could he even have?
Right, and do you want to give him the opportunity to play a spell to exile the Supervillain Lockup and then have Ken get back his Cloak and Dagger? But it is tempting to utilize all your mana and just play Bold Biochemist and activate on the same turn. But it also, it still just feels like the way that you lose this game is just through various Wiccan shenanigans.
Yes.
So if you can get it off the battlefield, you should absolutely try and do so. Because you can still just play the Biochemist.
You can still just play it out.
Just if you want an extra
power it
creature in
up
play.
later, yeah.
Or you can keep it in your hand if you're afraid of a removal spell and you absolutely need to draw the cards. Because Ken is not really attacking with any of his ground creatures.
Ken's down to 7 life. Timo at 16. He's only taken 1 hit so far.
Yeah, I think Timo just trying to figure out any attacks. He can basically make this attack and just trade with an Ultron drone like this, and
So it's a double block.
Yeah, and trade with the Ultron drone. Can move the Sturdy Shield around later if you like, and if you're gonna be going for the lockup anyways, you can at least use your mana that way, right? You can lock up the Wiccan and move the Sturdy Shield onto another creature.
Yeah,
Yep.
I like this play from Timo a lot.
Yep, absolutely.
He
Using
did tap his blue
though,
mana, so
not representing any blue spells here.
no, and he's not
Right.
going to cast the Bold Biochemist this turn either.
Yeah.
That signals to us, but
And I like moving it onto the U.S. Agent John Walker because there is a 1/4 that can block on Ken's side. So you want to have a 4-powered creature to attack with. So now
yeah,
Ken,
that was a really nice play from Timo.
Right?
It would have been really tempting to just go for the full 6 mana use, get those cards into your hand, but getting Wiccan off the board really does help with shenanigans. And he's got Decoy Ploy.
at one target,
Yeah.
it gets a villain and a hero if you have both.
Yeah.
And when you're playing a 4-color deck, good chance you can get both into your graveyard. But right now, there is simply, most likely, you're just going to be looking to get Ultron Drone back here and just play it. Oh, actually waiting here.
You can see that the supervillain lockups have also kept 2 creatures, not in the graveyard for Ken, but
Right.
in exile.
And now it's Bold Biochemist time here for Timo.
Yeah, he drew another land for the turn anyway, so nothing else to do.
Yeah, and if he does have any cheap spells, you want to Bold Biochemist and activate, right? If you have a Take Up the Shield or a Helicarrier Strike, you want to give yourself the opportunity to find one of those cards here.
Absolutely. Figure out what you got before you make your combat decisions.
Okay, draw 2 cards.
This is what Ken did not want to see. He's really
Right.
hoping that Timo just finds some lands here
Right.
and kind of runs out of gas because he is too.
It's a
Brave Brawler, what
Brawler.
else?
I think it's just, and a shield deployment drone.
Okay,
So
so
find some action.
Fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially when you have that Sturdy Shield too, right? You're
Yeah.
just happy making any trade, and then you just continue moving the shield over to other things.
And we're going to just continue to see these trades happen, it
Right.
looks like.
And Ken's
although,
setting up this block nicely because he's got that decoy ploy.
that's right. He's
Now
got
you
a hero now.
Right now you have a hero and a villain in the graveyard, so a trade he's absolutely happy making.
Yeah. He can even recast the Spider-Woman this turn. So here's Decoy Ploy.
Yeah.
Going to get back Ultron Drone and Spider-Woman. This is some good
Right.
grind
You
here.
can keep the Brave Brawler tapped down here.
Never even got to untap.
Right. So it just ate a creature for free, basically.
And a land off the top here for Ken.
Yeah, Ken still needs to try to find some way to turn this around. I think he still just playing defense the entire time. But given that he's got the Ultron drawn now, I think he can attack with the Herbie here because it's not really going to be chump blocking anything.
Yeah, Ken's got to be wanting to see that coming of Galactus off the top of the library.
Yeah, that would be huge.
He could use that to do so much nonsense. He could get back Wiccan. He could take out a key threat on the other side.
Right.
You talked about Wiccan plus that card. Kind of interested in that transaction myself, but
With all the cards that we see in Ken's deck, he could have even used that that Unliving Legionnaire. Probably would have just played it in his deck.
oh,
right?
100%. It's better than like 4 of his
He
cards.
took like a pim particles, I think,
He
right?
did.
And I don't think that made it in.
I'm going to look. It didn't.
Yeah. Splashing pim particles would be a bit ambitious.
Well, I think that is exactly how I would describe Ken's deck. A bit ambitious.
That is fair. That is fair. So,
At least Ken is splashing big, right? He's going for.
I mean, Timo
Max power.
isn't really able to attack anymore, right? I mean, that's a 4/5 in play. None of his creatures can actually attack through it, so he's kind of on the play my stuff. Now, Brave Brawler can certainly attack next turn, so probably just going to be deploying all of his threats here. And then probably move the Sturdy Shield over to the Shield Deployment Drone, because then you turn that into a 3/4, and that can actually block both of the flyers on Ken's side.
Yeah, even with the 2 spells in hand here for Bertram, though, Ken is very, very close to finding something
Yeah, I mean, he's
that
basically
could blow this game open.
right. He's basically stabilized at this point, right? It's a fairly, Timo just doesn't have fantastic attacks anymore. That decoy ploy did a lot of work.
Shield Deployment Drone here for Bertram.
Man, coming up Galactus, killing one of those supervillain lockups.
Ooh, seriously, get back Wiccan.
Right,
Let's
right.
go.
All right, so Timo using all of his mana here. Certainly if you're on Timo's side, looking for that Thor. There's a Trickster Stratagem in the graveyard too.
So both players really just hoping to
Right.
draw the top of their curves here. Ken really wants to see the coming of Galactus, and he found Undercover Scroll.
Yeah, with wow, I'm shocked.
It's not even
I'm shocked that it's a 1/1
full
here.
grown.
I guess when all your stuff gets exiled, that's
and
what happens.
when you bring back your creatures.
Right.
too.
Oh, and Timo wasn't able to actually move the Sturdy Shield over, of course, as he played and leveled up or powered up his creatures.
So we'll have to do that next turn.
And now I don't know Ken's in a position here to attack with this flyer because he is losing the race, right? I mean, I guess you can attack for 5 here in the air. No, Ken chooses not to. Because Timo can also gain some of that life back with the Brave Brawler.
That's right. Yeah, I don't think that Ken would be able to win the race from this exact standpoint. He's close.
Yeah. And Timo also doesn't necessarily have a great attack. Like if you move the shield over to the Shield Deployment Drone, that becomes a 3/4. Ken can double block and just lose either the Quinjet or the Herbie. And then Ken is going to be the one, was going to be the person with the only flyer in play.
Yeah, so Timo may just want to not even bother.
Yeah, perhaps even move it onto their Brave Brawler. That would turn that into a 5/5 life linker.
And just send it in.
Yeah, but then Ken can just double block with
A drone and a token or something.
or right, exactly, and then you lose the drone, and then your scroll becomes a 3/3 as well. But you get to gain some of that life back.
Yeah, none of these are particularly enticing attacks here for Bertram.
Yeah, I think
I think he wants to be in a position. He's
Right.
like he feels like he is the aggressor with Ken down to 7 and with some decent creatures. But if you actually take a snapshot of what the board state looks like post attacks, it's not much. There's Burrow back up off the top there for Bertram, but is that even good here? Not really.
I mean, it just kind of adds more to the board.
Yeah.
I wonder if Timo's considering, if I play this, will I be able to get a big attack next turn? Should I save it in case I draw Thor?
Okay.
Right, just so that I have another spell and I can just burn you out by playing the backup Plux the Trickster Stratagem.
No, that's interesting. And also he may be considering that attack with the Brawler or something to clear out some of the potential blockers. Because one plan he does have with the Burrow backup is what you said, Paul, just keep using that shield and just keep equipping stuff and sending it in.
Right.
But it looks like he is actually going to attack here.
Wow, okay, so Timo gonna kill the 3/3 flyer
okay,
here.
but that's actually not a creature anyway, so
Right.
the scroll stays small.
So now it's Burrow backup time. Ken.
Okay.
Yeah, all right. And
This
now,
is good.
now with all these creatures in play, Ken might actually want to potentially keep Herbie back to just trade with one of these 3/2 Vigilance tokens. Certainly a possibility here.
That Sturdy Shield doing good work here for Timo as well. It's really, he's equipped it multiple times. Anything good off the top here for Ken?
Just both sides, right?
Oh,
They're just
another land.
both sides are looking for their respective mythic rares here.
All right, Herbie did actually jam.
Okay.
I guess he's decided I'm not going to be trading this off
Right.
regardless, so let's race. But he really can't against the
Timo
Brave
also
Brawler.
draws a land here. So
Wow, both players with
Yeah.
lands. They're
Timo
like
needs-
halfway through their libraries.
the problem is these 3/2 tokens can't really attack through the Ultron drone.
Right?
Yeah, so if anything, you might need to just put it on the Brawler here, gain a bunch of life, and if Ken does offer the Ultron Drone trade, then all of a sudden your other tokens get unlocked.
Yeah.
Yeah, so given that there wasn't really a great attack, I don't know if I love that attack with the flyer.
Yeah, I'm not sure either.
Because that allowed Ken to actually start getting in there with the Herbie.
5-5.
Yeah, so 5-5. The only way to get rid of it, though, I mean, this is a good attack, right?
It is.
There is no great profitable block for Ken. The only good block is sacrificing your Ultron Drone, which would, like I mentioned, unlock your 3/2s to attack on the following turn.
Ken would love to be able to put the 2 tokens plus the Spider-Woman, but losing Spider-Woman unlocks the same problem next turn.
Yeah.
Okay, so he does clear away the Ultron Drone. That is profitable, and the life gain's going to be nice since Herbie's chipping away in the air.
Absolutely. So now back up to 14. You can move the Sturdy Shield over to probably the 3/2.
Yeah, one of the 3/2s.
Just because you need a 4-power creature to attack through Spider-Woman.
Right. But he's going to start sending those over one at a time.
Right.
And here's another
Right,
top
another
deck
draw.
opportunity for Ken
What can you
Yukuhiro.
find? It's a land.
Gleaming Bastion. He's drawn 2 lands in a row.
Right. Now Ken's going, can I attack now? Oh, he's going for it.
Herbie's frisky. Down to 12 goes Timo.
Remember, the scroll is a 3/3 here. So if the 4/4 attacks could line up a double block with the scroll and the 2/2 would be my guess. Can Timo find
Ken
something?
does lose that over time, right?
Of course, absolutely. Yeah. And that life gain from the Brave Brawler is huge here, because otherwise Ken might have been winning the race with that Herbie. Oh.
What did he find?
Shield flying car.
Oh, holy
huge draw.
smokes.
You can either unlock your Brave Brawler to have that attack, or you can flicker the Bold Biochemist and draw 2 more cards.
What a rip for Timo
And
Bertram.
it's gonna eat the Herbie, right?
Totally.
You flash that in when Ken Yukuhiro attacks, and you're gonna eat the Herbie, and that's Ken's only route to victory at the moment.
Totally.
Huge draw here from Timo.
Timo is just like, yeah, I'm just doing what I was doing before.
Just land go.
Yeah, attack this thing. Re-equip onto another 3/2. You know the drill
shake
here,
your
Ken.
head,
Nothing
shake your head, I'm
to
done.
see here. Go
Yeah.
ahead.
All right, Ken, can you
Come on,
find...
Ken, find something.
Now Coming of Galactus is not as good this turn because of the flying car.
That's right.
Oh, that is a claw.
Oh, that's really good.
So not going to lose Herbie.
Herbie lives.
not going to lose Herbie. But
Claw Sonic Subjugator.
Ken's still not going to be happy.
That's right. Because it's just going to force the flying car here.
Yeah.
And the question, though, is do you want another threat or do you want more cards?
I think I would be leaning towards cards. I think 2 cards is probably more valuable here
Than one.
one Brave Brawler, because you already have some other creatures to attack with, and I like this. And you just don't power up until end of turn, so you discard the land because of the claw in your hand. That comes in end of turn. It comes in. You still hold priority so that you can use the 4 mana, because the power up would still cost 4 mana from the Bold Biochemist.
Because it did enter this turn. So this comes in. Now pay 4.
Pay 4 mana.
He's just double checking the wording on power up, but yeah, absolutely.
Yep.
You do not have to have cast
Everybody was wondering.
Yep.
Just
It's true. It's true. And here's 2 more cards
more
on
cards.
end step, and
Can
then
you
a
find a
draw
Thor?
step as well.
Thor, a removal spell. I mean, Thor into Trickster Stratagem is that's just going to be the game,
That's
right?
gonna
I mean,
be
that's
devastating.
4 damage coming in. Oh, and this is a
Murdoch's Crusade for Spider-Woman?
for Spider-Woman. Are there any enchantments? Don't see any.
Don't think so.
But hey, unlocking the Brave Brawler also is very, very big here.
Yeah, so he ended up getting both,
Yeah,
plus an extra land for his troubles.
right.
Wow, this is massive turn here for Timo.
And
That flying car might have been the thing that propels him to this game 1 victory.
yeah. And just attacking for 3. Oh, and also the ground creature?
This one? This one also is.
Okay, so he's like, oh, you're also attacking with that? Well, that's unfortunate.
Yeah.
All right, so that'll
Triple block.
be a 2-for-1 here.
So
You
just
can kill the
2
2 tokens, right?
Yeah,
Because
exactly.
of the prevent any recursive effects. And this is still a lethal attack next turn, because you can crew up the car and then move the Sturdy Shield over. And here you can use a Murdoch's Crusade on the Spider-Woman to unlock your Brave Brawler. I wonder if Timo's going, do I even need to?
Is there something better?
Coming of Galactus.
Right.
Right?
But he's just going to do it now. He's going to say, you must top deck something incredible. And honestly, is Coming of Galactus even enough at this point?
Right, because there's
it just blows up one creature.
Yeah, there's effectively 5 creatures in play.
Right. What does he find? Anything for Ken Yukuhiro? He's got 2 lands in hand. He's flooded out.
Okay.
Power of Defeat. That's interesting.
Certainly keeps him alive, and it is an answer here to the flying car.
And Surveil is huge at this point in the game.
But he's still going to have to make some bad blocks here. He's at 4 life.
Yeah, he's in a really bad position.
I mean, I don't even know if after combat, I don't even know if Coming of Galactus is good enough here. I suppose you can kill the lockup and then get Cloak and Dagger. Would that be good enough? Maybe.
To maybe try to turn it around, sure.
Yeah.
Because we do note here that Timo Bertram is out of gas once again.
He's drawn a bunch of lands here.
Yeah. 2 planes and an island in hand for Timo.
This is 12 lands, and also there's 2 lands in the graveyard, too.
Yeah, he is flooded out really hard. I mean, even harder than Ken somehow.
Yeah. Really, really tough spot here for Ken.
So he kills the shield flying car.
Right, but then you have to...
What does he have to block?
You have to chump block the Brave Brawler, because that's a lethal attack. I mean, you have to actually block both of them.
And then he has to block something else,
You're actually chump blocking 2 creatures here, going down to 2.
And losing your board.
Exactly. So I think Timo's got it here.
There was another land there for Ken Yukuhiro, but it doesn't feel like there's outs. This format is not known for its sweepers. There's basically none.
Yeah.
So ways to come back from this point in Ken's deck, I don't think there are any.
Right.
And that's going to be game number 1 going to Timo Bertram. A drawn-out affair to start things off, and Timo ends up just scraping over the finish line.
Yeah. And, I mean, that's where any type of 2-for-1 effect really gets you there, right? And for Timo, just being able to activate the Bold Biochemist twice, really, really big there. And on the flip side, Ken has a powerful deck with lots of removal, but as I mentioned before, not a ton of card flow.
I mean, you'd hope that a game going that long would end up in Ken Yukihiro's favor.
Right, yeah.
If you get outground by the other deck.
By the blue-white, somewhat aggro deck.
Right, with just a little splash of red for, well, Thor, but.
Right. A little splash.
Just a little dash.
Yeah, and can Ken even beat a Photon? Right? If Timo just plays Photon.
No way.
There's just so few ways to actually handle it.
I don't even know if he has enough flying in his deck.
Right.
Not if one of them gets removed.
Yeah, so even if the game gets drawn out, I mean,
he'd have to
can still just have the ways to kind of go over the top. Yeah, that's right.
And you see the Roxanne Brutes getting land cycled here
probably.
after the 2-drop into 3-drop.
Hey, he's got all his colors.
Yeah.
Blue,
yeah,
black,
he does.
Blue, black, green, white.
3 lands, all the colors.
So you cannot say that you lost because of your greed.
His mana has worked thus far.
That's right.
He's going to probably just have to fire off Cruel Alliance here. Oh, no, he's got Cloak and Dagger.
Yeah. I guess against a blue-white deck, you can just, as long as you don't attack or block, right, because of double supervillain lockup.
I mean, you say blue-white, but is it mono-white?
Can get the island with the burrow backup. Yeah, so taking the Helicarrier strike here. And so on Timo's side, perhaps just leaving the Ultron drone back. Or you can attack, but then Ken can attack you back and gain you a bunch of life. Because Timo doesn't have a follow-up play here. Draws a second copy of Captain Marvel. Not ideal. But I suppose against Ken's deck, Ken's going to have to kill one. And then you can just follow it up with another.
Yeah. But in the meantime, the way is clear here for Timo Bertram. He gets to just bash with both creatures as Cloak and Dagger not wanting to engage in combat with these creatures.
Yeah, but Ken will get 2 of that life back as Cloak and Dagger can attack and give you life link. And then Timo's certainly going to...
just going to grab an island here?
Yeah, certainly going to get an island here with the burrow backup and then draw Thor probably.
We call that justice.
Absolutely.
And there's the island. He's just going to play it straight away. But that is going to be his turn.
I mean, Ken's hand is very, very nice. He's got plenty of interaction, right? Multiple removal spells, Anna Herbie, Spider-Woman.
The Gorilla is going to be really good this matchup, potentially.
Right. It's probably one of those cards you could even like consider holding until Timo fires off one of his many enchantments or artifacts.
Cloak and Dagger in the red zone, as you mentioned, that 4-point life swing there. And
Right.
now Ken just passes a turn back with Hour of Defeat and Spider-Woman available.
Yeah, and Ken actually could just let him attack.
Yeah.
Because then he can just flash into Spider-Woman and eat the Brave Brawler, and then keep the drone tapped afterwards. So
That works.
Ken's probably just going to pass here.
And you see Timo is just going to be forced to allow that to happen if he goes into it.
Yeah, I mean, Timo certainly, as long as he, if he just plays the land in his hand,
Then he can have
then
power up
then
ability.
Ken has to tap, or rather, Ken has to play the Spider-Woman before attacks, right? Because you can't actually eat the Brave Brawler then.
Typical play pattern for professional level players is to play your land after,
Right.
if it's not needed. It is here.
Right. Yeah. You need to be
You
able
would
to.
want to break from convention in this.
Right. Oh,
Interesting. Timo's
Okay.
only going to attack with Ultron Drone.
nice. Okay, so playing the Spider-Woman and say, you know what?
I'll just do it the other way.
Right,
then,
and I'll just block.
Yeah.
Sure. Timo's like, I knew what you had. And Ken's like, well, that's fine.
And then there's Captain Marvel as the follow-up here for Bertram.
Yeah, and Ken does have the multiple ways to deal with it here.
You can keep that rapid rescue available if you'd like. Oh, he's not going to. He's going to play Gorilla,
And Cruel Alliance.
and then
exile
Cruel
it.
Alliance it. Very nice.
Gains you a bunch of life, and,
And
you
then
still have
does
the.
he just get to jam here?
Yeah, because the next turn, Timo can play land number 6 and power up the Ultron drone, so the Spider-Woman just can't block either of the creatures in play. Or, excuse me, the Brawler can't even attack.
Right, it's on lockdown.
Whole game. Game you hold.
Was it on 22? So I think I'm on 19 now.
Yeah, 22 minus 3.
24?
Sorry.
Yeah.
90, yeah. 21, 19.
Yes.
Okay.
Clearing up the life totals here.
So Ken's at 21, actually. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's hit twice with Cloak and Dagger and only taking the
Right.
minimal hit there.
And I guess if you're on Timo's side, you're going, well, you know, you had the removal spell, but hey, at least that kind of unlocks my second Captain Marvel. But of course, we know that Ken has another removal spell here in hand to deal with Captain Marvel.
Yeah, we see
Hour of
Timo
Defeat.
respecting that. Oh, how about this off the top instead? The coming of Galactus has arrived.
Oh, okay. Well, that's what he was looking for in game number 1. The best card in his entire deck here has the capability of winning the game all by itself.
Does Timo have any answers for it?
He's got one Murdoch Crusade at the very least. Does he play 2?
Take a look.
But Timo's still fighting here.
Thank you.
And does have 2 copies of Murdoch's Crusade, so he has outs. He needs to draw them before the 16/16 Galactus token enters the battlefield.
Tick-tock, as they say. I guess
Rapid rescue.
I guess at this point he could just use it on the token.
Right, yeah.
I mean, at that point, I mean. So
Right,
he
you
has
get-
one
you
extra
get one
draw
extra
step, but,
turn,
I mean,
sure.
if it gets to attack, you're probably dead.
Right. Ken can still play out this Herbie here. Get extra value. Just does so much work.
4 cards?
3.
All right, Timo
Down to 17.
down to 17 has
Not much going on.
2 turns to find an answer. Of course, super villain lockup would also work, right? I believe.
Oh, he found Murdoch's Crusade off the top. Oh, my goodness.
Does he have the creatures here? Can he do both? He can kill the Spider-Woman
Yes.
and Coming of Galactus.
Yes, he can. That could actually turn things around.
Wow.
This is why Murdoch's
Unreal.
Crusade is such a high. You know, because if you ever just kill a creature with it, you're ahead on mana.
Right.
But if you happen
If
to
you do
get
both?
this is 9 mana worth of spells for 2.
I mean, this goes from Ken looking like he's just straight up going to win the game in 2 turns to, hey, we're back to an even game.
I just got a text from Galactus. He can't make it. Wow, Murdoch's Crusade off the top
Unbelievable.
for Timo.
2 copies of that card. Huge, huge draw here from
He
Timo.
attacked first. Okay, that's because he has U.S. Agent John Walker,
And
so he
that's a
can
4-power
use
creature.
that to pay the teamwork
Right.
cost.
And yeah, certainly
Ken,
run it out. He's like,
hold
all
on,
right,
buddy. No, he
timeout.
says.
Oh,
Oh, you saw that look from Ken Yukuhiro. That's what
Yeah.
he needed to not see.
brutal. Great draw there
Wow.
from Timo. Now Ken still has a lot of action in hand.
Did you see him grimace when that
Oh,
went on? That he's like,
sure did, Marshall.
anything but that. I was so
sure did.
close.
Now Ken, lots of good options. Can still hit in the air, right? I know that was.
I would just give up.
I know that was rough, but you still just have the Ultron drone here. You can play that and make a token, so that might make things difficult here. Just having that 4/5 in play makes it pretty tough for Timo to get good attacks, and even with the sturdy shield, if you put that onto the Ultron drone, that's a 4/5. You can still kind of set up some double block situations here. All right, going for King instead here and keeping up Supervillain Lockup as a trick. Ken would love to find a way to safely attack with the King if possible. Get that connive trigger going, start draining Timo. And now on Timo's side, you need to try to find and line up a good attack here. It's rough. Before it was looking like, okay, well, I stabilized my board. I can just attack freely and get some good attacks in. But now you're facing up against the King. So now are you considering keeping one of your big creatures back, right? Just so that King can't get in an attack. And Timo has a card, right? Yeah, he's got a card that an unknown card.
Unknown
rather.
card,
Yeah.
but one indeed.
And Timo actually getting very aggressive here. That's 3 4-power creatures that can attack. And this is lining up reasonably well here for Ken, given that he does have that supervillain lockup. So he's going to force, he's thinking about blocking the Brave Brawler, forcing Timo to spend all his mana this turn to pump it up, and then using the supervillain lockup to get the Brawler. If he did that, though, he would take 8 damage here from the other 2 creatures.
Yeah, he's going to leave Timo with just the 1 mana left.
All right. So makes him use all his mana, but goes down to 7.
Attack 8, 7.
Yeah, that's a big cost, but gosh, it does seem
Yeah.
worth it.
You get that life back, right? You at least get one of the life back from the King and the connive.
Yeah, he could even clear out the token and attack if he really wants with the Cloak and Dagger. Ultron Drone, Hour of Defeat.
Yes, things are still looking pretty good here for Ken with the Ultron Drone and the extra interactive spell here and the ability to just kind of swing away with the King.
Yeah,
So now Ken goes up to 8.
and he's attacking for 5 plus
Plus
the extra
1.
drain. Yeah, that's
So
a
Timo
big
down to
attack
9.
too.
So life total is basically even,
That very aggressive attack from Timo did not work out,
right?
mainly because he committed himself to paying the 5 mana for the Brawler.
Right.
Don't think it was wrong, but it didn't work out great. He drew
Yeah,
Thor,
yeah,
Thunder.
that's not going to see play for a bit.
That's so rough for Timo. It's his greedy splash, and it's
yeah.
just staring at him in
I
hand
guess it would
now.
have won him the first game.
Yes, it would
Yeah.
have. For a really long game where his
Right.
mana really gets under him, that is his most powerful spell. But in a normal length game, he is almost never going to be able to cast it.
Right.
And as you can see, he's miles away right now.
Miles. And now Timo just doesn't even necessarily have a good attack lined up here. You can move the shield, I suppose, over to the Ultron Drone. Draws an island.
Draws an
At
island.
least be a mountain, right? Give yourself some hope.
No kidding.
If you went mountain and somehow survived, playing that and then using Murdoch's Crusade on the Ultron Drone and then dealing 2 damage to the Cloak and Dagger would have been huge.
Yes,
Yeah. But as it stands,
he's miles away from that.
he is miles away from that.
This is a risk that Timo knew he was taking when he
Right.
put Thor God of Thunder into his list. There are going to be games where you draw it, can't cast it, and you have to just live with it.
I mean, I imagine you're not going to be able to cast it in 30% of your games, right? It's a double splash.
I mean, it's not advisable. Like, I would guess that having Thor, God of Thunder, in this list
and 2
versus
mountains, right?
any common you pick it
Right.
that's a creature in either of these two colors is going to be minus win rate.
Yeah, I think the only argument is because he's got the photon in his deck. To be able to play the other side, you absolutely need at least one mountain.
You are doing the red
Right.
thing regardless.
All right, Hour of Defeat here. This is lining up a really, really big attack here for Ken Yukuhiro. Killing the shield, so now you can attack with the king, right? Because if you connive and turn it into a 4/5, Timo would have to double block and lose both of his creatures here.
Wow, everything except for Cloak and Dagger coming in, plus that
Yeah,
trigger.
discard the scroll here. There's a drain for 1, and now the king is a 4/5.
Yeah, he discards the scroll to get the +1/+1 counter.
Right.
And it looks like the avalanche of value on Ken's side has finally added up to enough to
Yeah, can't double.
overwhelm Timo Bertram here.
Right, can't double block the king because you die. You're at 8 life here. You need to just make really bad blocks just to stay alive here. You got to put 1 card on the Ultron drone, and then you can, I suppose, trade with the token. If you did that, you would go to 2, but you would have new board.
And that's exactly what he's going to do. Down to 2, no board, no spells of castable in hand.
Yeah.
And he's going to have to scoop him up.
All right.
So that means that we get a split of the first 2 games. And of course, since we are in the top 8, that means that we're going to be playing best 3 out of 5. And any games after this point are going to be sideboarded.
Yeah. And if you're Ken, you got a lot of options. He's playing all of the colors, so we'll see what he brings in out of the board.
Yeah, he could really change his deck around. We'll take a look at that and more. But first, we're going to take a short break here from Amsterdam. When we come back, we're going to be finishing up our first quarterfinal. Don't go anywhere. And welcome back to coverage here of Pro Tour Marvel Superheroes. Take a look at the Amstel River here in Amsterdam. Beautiful city and a beautiful day for a top 8 indoors here. We've got a trophy to give away. We've got a Magicon happening. We've kind of got it all. And of course, if you're just joining us, first off, Thank you. We really appreciate you taking the time to hang out with us. And second, it is draft top 8. We've already watched the draft earlier. If you're just tuning in, you'll have to go back and watch Ken's draft. It was a doozy. We're watching him play now against Timo Bertram, and the players have split the first 2 games. That means 2 things. 1, game 3 is just about upon us, and we're kind of back to our normal format of best 2 out of 3. And then also it means that the sideboards are in, Paul. Not huge changes for our players here. It looks like Timo took out a helicarrier strike and brought in a super suit, and Ken brought out rapid rescue, and he brought in the Echo Perceptive Prodigy.
Yeah.
It's back, baby.
The splashed Echo. I mean, this is, at least after the first 2 games, certainly seems like the type of matchup where the games kind of go long, and that is certainly where a card like Echo can really shine. And Ken, once again,
3/4 of the way there.
3/4 of the way there. This is where Ken kind of taking all those lands and playing the Quinjet and the land cycler has made it so that his mana actually seems like it's better than we would have anticipated just by following the draft.
Got good news and bad news for Timo Bertram. Bad news, he drew Thor again. Good news, he has a mountain.
All right.
So he's actually
Then that's
one of his
drawing
aim
Thor isn't bad
sciences.
news.
Is it not?
I
Still can't cast it.
You're close. Hey, you know what the real good news is?
Yeah, Monica Rambeau showed
Yeah,
up.
Photon in your hand.
Totally. That is where you want to be.
And
Ken is not going to have an easy time answering that.
right, especially given how much removal is in Ken's deck. Sometimes you kind of have to play around turn 3 for the sake of your mana curve. By the way, Aim Scientists,
Hey!
Thor is online.
If he goes Aim Scientist for a second mountain, it's going to be just a huge sign to Ken. He didn't. He actually got a
Well, the
point.
problem is Photon is double white.
So he's going to have to prioritize
Right.
Photon, which
Yeah.
does make sense. But again, this Thor splash is way too much. That should probably not be in the deck. That said, if he had drawn it in the first game, probably would have won him the game, and he had the mana to cast it pretty easily. So maybe he's gearing up for these slogs and figures if the game goes 10, 12 turns every game, I might actually have a decent chance of casting this thing.
Ken keeping up that counterspell, and this is tough. So you want to play out Photon, but at the same time, Ken is representing counterspell mana.
Which is like the only answer he has.
The only thing he can have. So it's one of those spots where maybe you just don't go for it. Yeah, and this is great. You just play out another thing. But Ken can just run out Hour of Defeat here, end of turn, and can still kind of play that instant speed game because if Timo does nothing, you can still power up your Serpent Specialist.
Really smart from Ken here.
You put it
Right? He doesn't
Yeah.
even flinch at using his counterspell. We say the nay there.
Right.
He just immediately goes for the Hour of Defeat.
Yeah. And he's cut the Echo, but can't play it because has to keep up the counterspell mana as well.
So the question is, can Timo kind of entice Ken to either tap out or use his We Say Thee Nay on something other than Photon? Because if he resolves Photon, I don't see how Ken wins.
Yeah, not with this hand. I mean, I suppose Thor, right? But needs to find that second red source. And that's the trouble with utilizing your land cyclers to get non-mountains. Because when you lay out your mana base and you're thinking about playing Thor, you look at the Aim Scientists as red sources.
You
so
do.
at any time you use those to get the other lands, I mean, you're just so far away from getting Thor into play.
And he's going for it, and it's going to get We
no.
Say Thee Nay. And Ken Yukuhiro can breathe a sigh of relief.
Yeah, that was Timo's absolute best card in this matchup here. So now Ken does not have to worry about Photon Living Light here. Just nearly unbeatable when it enters the battlefield here, especially against Ken's deck that has 7 or 8 unconditional removal effects.
Now Ken has the green light to just start casting stuff.
Right?
Oh, that's incredible.
Yeah. That We Say Thee Nay on the splash coming in very handy here for Ken. Now, if you're on Timo's side, he needs to find a red source.
Even then, how good is Thor here? It doesn't just eat a removal spell.
Well, Ken can't cast Web Up currently. He doesn't have white mana. So he doesn't actually have a way to kill
I
the
guess
Thor God of
what I
Thunder.
mean is if I'm Timo and I draw my mountain, I'm like, sweet, I have Thor.
Oh, you're definitely playing Thor.
But I don't get anything from it straight away.
Well, you have a super suit in your hand. So if you play Thor, you can still cast super suit and deal 2 damage to something.
Okay.
I mean, I don't think there's too much of a better draw than Mountain. I suppose Bold Biochemist would also be very good, just as a way to draw cards.
I guess I'm mentally comparing it to the Photon.
Yeah, I mean, it's certainly not on the level of Photon.
And now Timo's just going to offer this trade. I guess he sees it as inevitable.
Right. But Timo does, of course, have the backup here. You can just Brave Brawler, pump it up. And if Ken just discards a spell here, then the Brave Brawler can't even block the King. Can probably just pitch the Echo. No, he found something.
He found Spider-Woman.
Spider-Woman.
Is that what
here.
that was?
That's what it looks like here, and just being careful with the mana because he does have a Connive.
Oh, he's just going to play Echo.
Just plays an Echo.
He wants double Spider-Woman.
Yeah, that's what
Next
it looks
turn?
like here. And so choosing not to attack with the King here. Okay.
Interesting.
Super villain lockup. So Timo might be okay with attacking with the Brave Brawler here. And then just allow Ken to have that 1 trigger off of the King. And then just get it with the lockup.
Still no second red source yet for Thor, God of Thunder, to hit the battlefield. But
Yep.
if this game goes a while, he very well may find it.
Right. Yeah, 4 damage coming in, and he's certainly just going to be passing here. Nothing else to do. And this could be a pretty fun turn here for Ken. He can
do some
copy
nonsense.
multiple triggers. You can just copy the King trigger too. You can get 2 Connives.
Yeah, particularly like if he found a land here and he did it, but it's Gleaming Bastion.
Yeah,
He actually
look
wants
at this.
that one.
Loot twice.
So Connive once.
Yeah, just 1 drain.
And
but-
it's an island too,
Yeah.
so he'll be happy to get rid of that. The drain only happens on
right.
the
And then
extra card,
yeah,
but
just-
still another.
and then loot again. And you certainly want to keep the blue-white land, so you can throw away the forest.
That's a lot of
Yeah.
cards sifted through here
Right.
for Ken.
And the Gorilla is pretty effective against Timo's deck of double supervillain lockup here.
Oh.
Oh, but here's
right.
Super Suits.
Super
that
Suit.
will untap his
But-
Brawler.
Ken does have the Spider-Woman, so you let that resolve, or you can just play the Spider-Woman to keep it locked down. And then now Timo will have to use the supervillain lockup to get rid of the King.
This is a nice little flurry here for both players.
Right? Yeah, that would have been an excellent trick had Ken not had
Now we can.
the Spider-Woman here.
Yeah, the RAF security officer is under Frozen in Ice as well, and that cannot be untapped.
Right.
The normal templating for those cards says it doesn't untap during his controller's untap step, but it actually just says it cannot be untapped.
Yeah, I wonder if just aggressively fetching that Plains is going to come to haunt Timo there. I know he kind of needed to get the land, but you have so many more Plains in your deck that you can draw.
Yep.
Where if Ken does keep up mana for counterspell, and it's just really hard to run at the Photon, maybe it would have been better to just bait something with the Thor first, and then run the Photon when you eventually draw the other Plains. Now you're just hoping to naturally draw your second mountain in your deck.
Yeah, he has another AIM scientist that he could pull.
Oh, look at this. Copying the Gorilla so you can kill the
Oh.
super suit as well. Look at this Echo out of the sideboard doing some serious work here for Ken
Popping off
Yukuhiro.
with Echo. I saw it in the sideboard and I thought, okay, Ken,
All right,
you're going full
all right.
power, buddy. He sure is.
Bold Biochemist maybe? Okay, that's a good place to start here for Timo.
Is there a mountain here?
Yeah, or perhaps the second AIM Scientist, or I believe he had a blue-red duel as well. The third natural red source you can draw. Don't see one, though. I think I see an Ultron drone and a non-mountain. Oh, that's a Murdoch's Crusade, excuse me.
He's got a lot of targets for that. In fact, every
Oh, wow.
creature on Ken's side
Okay, that was
is
actually
4 toughness.
that was actually a nice draw. There's a Trickster Stratagem and a Murdoch's Crusade here for Timo. You kill the Echo, you go, oh man, this Echo's a problem.
Yeah. Or maybe just stratagem that one and
Right.
set it back.
2 loots here. Look at this.
Jeez.
Any extra lands, you can just filter it away here. And you get the
No.
drain. Just wait till you get to Coming of Galactus, although you do have to be mindful of Murdoch's Crusade, so might not even be correct to run out Coming of Galactus if you draw it.
And he actually is going to actually discard Undercover Scroll here, which is a little surprising.
Yeah. Would rather have the
Because I
lands?
think he has another land in his hand.
Guess he just wants to... Oh, he wants the king to be big enough to attack through the Bold Biochemist, right? As it is a 2/4. So,
Is that important?
yeah, you get to get in for 4 extra... for 4 damage.
Yeah, but he wouldn't lose his king, and he could have a 3/3.
3 cards?
3 cards.
Yeah, I think as long as the king can stay on the battlefield, I think Ken's okay just thinking, well, maybe I can just continue sifting through all the other cards as well, and I just want to make sure that I can deal enough damage here. But that Bold Biochemist was excellent for Timo. I mean, just finding multiple interactive spells there to play.
Another 5-drop here, too, with Captain Marvel Spaceborne. So a lot of action here.
Yeah.
For Timo, somehow Ken's actually the one that's almost out, even though he's seen so many more cards.
Yeah, a lot of good targets, too, for the various interactive spells here, right? Like, you can make the case you can use your removal on any of those cards here.
Mm-hmm.
And interesting, doesn't actually fire off Murdoch's Crusade here. Now, if Ken plays a spell, then that does trigger Captain Marvel, and you can play stuff at instant speed.
Oh, true.
So if you play
Dependable Quinjet here. Oh, but it's going to be web up, so...
But the trigger does go on the stack, and you can still play Murdoch's Crusade, right? You can
Yes.
still play Murdoch's Crusade at instant speed here to perhaps deal with the king. And web up can't be copied by Echo, by the way. Echo only copies triggered abilities from creatures.
Yeah. So Timo does have a window here
So good.
where, I mean...
Yeah, it's like,
it
do you
is
kill
funny.
Spider-Woman?
They're all 3 good choices.
Yeah, I think you don't... Yeah, I think it's, do you want to maybe kill the Spider-Woman to unlock your creature or kill the king?
Currently, the web up trigger is targeting Marvel, but he's going to use his first Murdoch's Crusade here to exile King, and then Captain Marvel will be gone.
Yeah, because that was a card advantage engine for Ken, and now Ken kind of doesn't have anything, right? He has some lands and that Quinjet in hand.
Yeah, as it sits, you also kind of are taking out Echo effectively because it doesn't have anything else to do at the moment.
No attack.
No attack, probably run out the Quinjet here.
He's not going to attack, he said.
Doesn't look like it.
Guess he could get in for 1 here.
I guess the Echo has Vigilance, and you
Right.
can attack with the Spider-Woman, yeah.
But maybe he's deciding, nah.
Mhm. Yeah, I think he's concerned about supervillain lockup there from Timo. So.
I think so too. Okay. Well, you can play the dependable Quinjet, but interestingly, Ken's out of gas.
Ken's out of gas. Game keeps going on.
Cold
every
top decking.
single turn here, Timo. If you can find a mountain, now he's got that Murdoch. Oh, he found the mountain. So he found the mountain. So now he can play Thor and then cast Murdoch's Crusade to kill the Spider-Woman.
Wow.
And now he has a huge threat, and Ken has nothing in hand.
Even though Ken's seen so many cards.
I mean, if you're Timo, you just feel like that is what you need. I mean, that kind of unlocks everything. I know Timo's probably scared of a potential coming of Galactus off the top. But at that point, are you just never casting the Thor, right?
Yeah, no, you just have to do it.
Oh, and I like this attack because if Ken blocks with the 4 toughness creature, you can play Thor, then Murdoch's Crusade. That would deal 2 extra points of damage to kill off whatever blocks.
So that would actually kill both.
Right. So really nice attack here from Timo.
And Ken's like, what's going on?
Yeah, Ken's like, okay, this is going to be really bad for me. I think I should just take 2 damage.
Yeah, he's at 18.
Yeah. He's like, there's no way you're just bluffing this attack here, is probably what Ken's thinking. But regardless, this will be a very good turn for Timo if, of course, he plays out this Thor, the second mountain in his deck.
Yeah, a.k.a. the other mountain.
Can I see?
Yeah, of course.
And now Ken's like, wait a minute. I think I figured out what's going on here.
Timo had a little smirk, too. He's like, all right.
He's like, you know, and I know.
We all know what's
There's the
happening
mountain.
here. There it is.
Let's go,
All
Thor.
right, Thor, Murdoch's Crusade. And he's got a Trickster Stratagem in hand too, which would then be another 4 points of damage to anything that he wants. This can go to the face too, by the way.
If he wants to reduce the clock since he's got the big flyer in the air. But I think he just wants to unlock that Brave Brawler. It's been on lockdown forever.
Right, so he can kill that, and then Thor will go 2 damage to the face.
And even though Echo did do good work earlier, it's not looking great here.
14.
Yeah, Ken's gonna need.
1914, right?
Yeah.
I mean, Coming of Galactus would...
Yeah, no, Coming of Galactus would be the absolute best card here, but just anything to kill the Thor.
And he's got a lot of removal in this
He sure
list,
does.
too. Coming of Galactus is only one of them.
No, that is a
Wiccan
wicked. Oh,
Rising
that is
Magician.
not going to be enough here. Timo can Trickster Stratagem the Echo and then deal 4 damage to the Wiccan if he wants.
And at this point, Ken doesn't want to redraw the Echo, so it would just be getting rid of it entirely.
Right.
Wow.
And everything untaps. You
And this
get a
is what we were
connive.
talking about with Thor. It's
Right.
horrible in your opening hand, but if games are going to go long, and so far they all have,
Right.
you want access to a part of that power level.
I will say in this specific matchup, yes, it is looking very, very impressive. Yes, really going to fire this off. Wow. That mountain. I think he's just concerned about a potential spell here. Out of
Yeah,
Ken
there's
Yukuhiro.
2
But
mana
the thing-
available for Ken.
But the thing is, the Wiccan can't protect itself anyways.
Right.
So what you do is Trickster Stratagem on the Echo, and then if you point the 4 damage at the Wiccan, Ken can't do anything.
Exactly. So there it is. Trickster Stratagem targeting Echo.
Oh.
What is he doing?
Trigger this.
Is he targeting his bold biochemist for value? Okay.
Well,
Ken's seen enough.
Ken has seen enough, and that's game number 3 going to Timo Bertram. He's up 2-1 over Ken. Can he finish?
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah. Murdoch's Crusade, extremely, extremely impressive against Ken's deck, who has a ton of great creatures that all have 4 toughness and Coming of Galactus. Now Timo once again, draws the island there and has a 2-drop there on the play. And Ken choosing to draw once again, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, they also did change their decks out a little bit, some massaging here. Ken took out Decoy Ploy and put in Wakandan Royal Guard. He wanted
Just another
more
big
power
creature.
and toughness, yeah.
Yeah.
And then Timo took out a super suit and brought in Ghost Spectral Saboteur, perhaps looking for just another threat.
Yeah. Some way to push damage through, given how slow this matchup has been going.
Okay, we see a couple of 2-drops for our players here.
Timo does have a take up the shield here. Will be very, very aggressive. Probably wants to use that to protect something, but it's just rough because he has a highly reactive hand here. Just Murdoch's Crusade, Supervillain lockup, and Ken going, you know what? That's fine. I'll just
Yeah.
take the 2.
Maybe Timo thinking, I wouldn't mind trade up the shield for the Gorilla because of Supervillain lockup in hand.
Yeah, but Ken here with land can just go Herbie. Try to hit another land here. Set up perhaps Wiccan on a following turn.
Yep. It's going to be Herbie. Land? No, he just passes the turn
Just
back.
says go and doesn't even attack with the Gorilla. Is that another land for Timo?
Yeah, it's a Plains, it looks like. Yeah.
All right.
Well, it is land number 5, though.
Yeah, and if you're also in Ken, you're going, please don't play Photon this turn.
Right.
Right?
Yeah, he doesn't have the luxury.
Right. He can. But this is one of those moments here.
And it looks like Ken's going to say no blocks, and Timo's going to say, sounds good.
Shield deployment drone. Okay. No, that was a real draw. Now the Gorilla does have reach as well. If you wanted to maybe just trade there if you like. Ken needs to find some lands here. And finds probably the perfect land.
Yeah, it did.
The Surveil land. And instantly keeps on top.
That was very quick.
Now, you do have to be mindful that Timo has multiple copies of Murdoch's Crusade, so perhaps just tapping out for a Wiccan might not be ideal here.
Would he prefer to manage the board with a Cruel Alliance?
Or you can go something like Serpent Specialist, which basically keeps the Brave Brawler in check, and then you can just pass and then cast Spider-Woman.
Okay. And that uses up all your mana for the turn and really does stabilize the board as well. Where if you go for the Wiccan play that you mentioned, Paul, you're really opening yourself up to a nice crackback.
Right.
Okay.
Okay, and now Timo just doesn't really have any good attacks, especially when Ken has 4 mana up. You can't be the first person to flinch and just cast that Take Up the Shield anymore. So I feel like this is a spot where Timo basically just kind of has to pass, right? Probably just pass and take up your Brave Brawler, because I don't know that you are happy trading your Shield Deployment Drone for a Herbie.
No, and the Brave Brawler for a Serpent Specialist doesn't look good.
Right.
Yeah. Wow. So a little bit of a pause in the action here for Timo, most likely.
Okay.
Well, he is going to go ahead and trade.
He's happy with this, but
maybe thinking, back to game 1 when Herbie got blinked with a Wiccan or something like that.
Sure. Yeah, but this is tough. I mean, Ken has a really solid draw here. Lots of interaction in hand.
And he's kind of stranded 5 mana from Timo by playing the Spider-Woman. Now, he didn't actually spend the 5 mana, but there's kind of no point anymore.
Right.
I mean, if you had nothing else to do, you would just do it anyway, because at some point Spider-Woman might be gone. But
And Ken Yukuhiro once again concerned about Murdoch's Crusade here. Seeing how he wants to line up his attacks.
yeah, Supervillain Lockup also played a big part in game number 1.
Oh, it runs it out. And
Well,
so, of course, now...
There's only one target, or you can only pick one target, right?
Yeah, and certainly Timo is going to be using it here on the Wiccan.
Yep. But that means that Spider-Woman gets to stick around.
Right.
Timo does decide just to use that mana because why not? But at least for the foreseeable future, the Brave Brawler is going to be under lockdown.
And a Captain Marvel Spaceborne as another play here. Did he play a land for turn yet? Because if he can play the land for a turn, then he can kill the Wiccan and play Captain Marvel.
Okay, well, stage 1. And there's
All
a
right.
land for the turn
There
as
it
well.
is.
So
Okay.
good turn there for Timo Bertram. He gets to play 7 mana, take out 5 mana on the other side,
Yep.
and put down a big flyer on his side.
But Ken gets to just do the same thing here and use 3 mana to kill the 5-drop here. And he can kind of pick his poison here with Cruel Alliance, Web Up, or Frozen in Ice. Just
Right.
3 different ways.
I guess it would be the one that's most difficult to cast or that ties up your mana in a way that you may not want to later. It's little things that
Right.
make a decision. Like you start to think in terms of like, well, maybe if I draw the Coming of Galactus and I want to use removal that turn, maybe I want to get Cruel Alliance out of my hand or something like that.
Yeah, because with Cruel Alliance, you have to tap one of your creatures.
Mhm.
So
And is this a good time to do that?
Right. Whereas the other cards, you can just kind of fire them off whenever,
Mhm.
and there's no condition that you need.
But then you also think about the different types of things you may want to hit. Web Up is the more flexible option, for example. He's going to go
Okay.
with Frozen in Ice.
Frozen and Ice, and might be getting aggressive here. All right. Yeah, there's only a 1/1 on the other side of the battlefield here. Okay. He's saying, hey, look, if you have a supervillain lockup for my Spider-Woman, I can just use my Gorilla to unlock it if I need.
Right. I like that attack.
Yeah.
Timo down to 23.
23. Remember, Photon always a great draw as an option. And hey, Bold Biochemist was a really good draw here as well. We'll find Timo more action. This card has truly overperformed relative to, I think, most people's expectations of the card going in. Obviously, it's a fine card. You look at it. But, I mean, in a set like this where the 2-drops aren't super aggressive, the games go kind of long, it's just the perfect 2-drop for most decks.
13.
Yeah, and
And
given
there's a Bold Biochemist. Also, an interesting little wrinkle with which removal to choose there, Paul, would be Frozen in Ice, because it actually keeps a creature on the battlefield, and he has 2 of them. It's
Right.
legendary.
Yeah.
Nah,
Oh, yeah. I mean,
Little-
this second,
a little tiny.
yeah.
It
but
doesn't change a lot, but
does it,
it just loses its text box.
so is it, so would it stay in play if you play the other Captain Marvel?
No, I think you.
It
have
still
to
dies.
choose.
Okay,
Yeah.
it still dies. Okay. All right, and there is, of course, Thor, God of Thunder, which, if he gets that second red source, will be amazing.
As we said, it's a sketchy inclusion in the list, but if you operate under the assumption that games will go long, it kind of makes sense.
Right.
And at least in this particular matchup, the games have been going long for sure.
Yeah, I mean, Murdoch's Crusade is just so good against Ken's deck here. And being able to kind of buy that back here, find that mountain, and get that Spider-Woman off the battlefield. And you can also kill the Gorilla if you can kind of set that all up in one turn. Alternatively, remember, you have a kind of a one-turn cycle to actually cast it. If he finds a mountain, he even has a protection spell in Take Up the Shield if Ken had something like an Hour of Defeat.
Not a super crazy turn here for Yukuhiro, but he does power up his Serpent Specialist and gets in there for 3. Sure.
Yeah. But Timo's still sitting here at 20 life.
Yeah, he's knocked him back down to 20 at this point.
I wonder if Timo's considering using that Take Up the Shield here, perhaps on Bold Biochemist, right? Turn that into a 3/5 and hope it works. Hope you can just eat the Serpent Specialist. Oh no, excuse me. He already took the damage. Never mind. I thought this is
back on Timo's turn here,
Okay.
but he's going to start trading barbs here with Yukuhiro. He's going to get in with his Biochemist. This is the slugfest we all hope for.
This is
there
where
we go.
these random power-up cards that don't seem all that strong just
Yeah.
really start to overperform.
100%.
You know, Ultron Drone, Pet Avengers, cards of that nature really kind of stand out here.
Right. Serpent Specialist has been the...
Ooh,
Coming of Galactus. Does he have the
Galactus.
mana? I assume so. It is a question you have to
Double
ask.
black is the question, but he's going for it here.
And here he
Coming
goes.
of Galactus. So now Timo needs to find that second Murdoch's Crusade or Aim Scientist
Mountain.
or a Mountain.
Yes.
So has a few cards he can draw here.
We've seen it before.
Right.
Murdoch's Crusade, excellent. And Timo has 2 of them plus Thor to buy them back.
Yeah, Mountain, Blue-Red Land. Is it Blue-Red Duel?
Now it's at second Captain Marvel. Looks
Okay.
like.
Second Captain Marvel. Now Ken is down to 11 here. You can run out that Marvel and have Take Up the Shield for it, but Ken's removal effects are all exile effects. So Take Up the Shield wouldn't even work to kind of protect you against Cruel Alliance or Web Up. Or Supervillain. Well, Supervillain Lockup wouldn't work because, of course, the Captain Marvel has Vigilance.
This is Ken just hoping and praying
Right?
that the coming of Galactus is around long enough to see Galactus actually hit the battlefield and clean up this mess. Now you see Ken going for a block here, though he is, it looks like, going to lose his specialist.
Oh man, there's one other part about Galactus, by the way, that usually doesn't matter because you usually just die. When it
Oh, the
attacks,
land thing?
when it attacks, it destroys target land. So if Timo doesn't find a second red source and Galactus, because Timo has the answer, he can kill it with Supervillain Lockup when it attacks. But if you lose your mountain, you just won't be able to cast the Thor.
That is absolutely hilarious. Okay, he is going to go for the second copy of Captain Marvel. And look at that. That interaction we talked about actually happened.
Right? Yeah.
Okay, take 2.
Take 2. Okay.
Interestingly, also from Timo's perspective, he's been able to keep his life total high. He may be able to buy himself 1 additional turn and not just die to the swing.
Right.
You know, normally it's like a couple of other damage plus the 2 means that thing turns sideways and you just lose. That may not be the case, and 1 extra draw step could be the difference.
Right, absolutely. And Ken's hand, though, loaded with removal here. That Undercover Scroll would be a 3/3 if he did choose to play it. Or he can use this turn to play 2 removal spells, right, with the 6 mana that he has available in the Cruel Alliance and the Web Up.
He's going to start with Hour of Defeat.
Oh, he tapped incorrectly. He can't play the scroll anymore.
No, he can't. I
And
guess he can
he-
leave up Supervillain Lockup?
Yeah, I mean, I suppose...
Maybe that's what he wanted?
I think he wanted to play the scroll.
I do too.
Right. Yeah. Because after he did that, he went, oh. So he did tap incorrectly. You might be able to undo that, but I think he already surveilled, so maybe that changes things.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
he will have to settle for Supervillain Lockup.
Now
Maybe it's an elaborate bluff.
maybe the Well, why would he audibly?
What?
Why would he do that and be audible about it?
It's selling the bluff. I don't have
I
supervillain lockup.
I suppose so.
Yeah, that's it, Paul. We all figured it out.
That's if he could have left up the blue-white land in a forest.
Ha!
Yes, because he wouldn't have attacked otherwise. Man,
He got him.
why am I even here, Marshall?
He got him, Paul. An elaborate bluff. Okay,
All
here
right.
we go. This is chapter 3. That means we are one chapter away from Galactus showing up here.
Yeah,
And so far, Timo has an answer with supervillain lockup.
right. And now there's a Kingpin Enforcers. Do we want to get that Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. off the battlefield?
God, this
or
is so
hold onto
interesting.
our removal spells? Yeah, I mean, can you imagine if Timo just rips a mountain here?
Yes, if he rips a mountain, that's perfect.
That's
if
probably game.
If he doesn't,
That's not a mountain.
he didn't,
Yeah.
then it gets really interesting because of what you brought up, Paul,
Yeah.
that if Galactus gets to attack, which it will in order to get villain lockup, the mountain will go away and effectively take Thor out of the equation. And it is in hand here for Timo.
Right, because he's got 2 mountains and a blue-red duel.
Mm-hmm.
So he would need to search out the other mountain and then naturally draw the 1 blue-red duel to be able to cast the Thor.
Okay, so it'd be really difficult
Right.
at that point.
So this is a 3-5 coming in, and Ken going, you know what, I'm just going to block.
I'll block.
And Timo actually doesn't have anything here.
Okay.
Okay.
Maybe he just didn't think. I mean, Ken's at 9. He kind of has to
Right,
block, right?
right.
And this is
All
chapter
right.
4.
Galactus is here. Do we have the appropriate token? We sure do.
Oh, look at that. The 1616. It's got flying trample, and whenever it attacks, destroy target land, which is, funny enough, the part that is going to matter here.
Right. So Timo still has, of course, AIM Scientist, 2 copies of that, a Mountain, and a Murdoch's Crusade that he can draw here to prevent that Galactus from attacking.
Right. Now, he's not going to lose to it anyway.
No, he's not, but it is in his best interest to not lose that mountain.
Exactly. Can he find a mountain off the top or an AIM Scientist to... I
would
mean, because
be
it would
huge.
swing this game
It
back
would
in his
be
favor.
insane. It would have been better earlier because you could have killed the coming of Galactus and Spider-Woman, but
Right.
can he find it? I
No.
think that was John Walker, right?
Yeah, I think it was US Agent
Yeah.
John Walker. Wow, this is going to be a
Okay.
real game here,
Right,
Paul.
absolutely.
Because even though Galactus isn't going to just clean up the mess, it is going to basically mean Thor doesn't get to come down unless some really weird stuff happens.
And hey, look, Ken can actually just sacrifice the Galactus and draw a card, right? In response to
you're
the super
right.
villain lockup. So that's going to be another 2-for-1. I mean, this is
Yes.
effectively going to be a 3-for-1 because it killed something as well.
And that's going to be the name of the game because, you know, we see the players in that grind mode where it's this attrition game, but then they get to their big bomb, and that's what's supposed to kind of put them over the top. And in this case, Ken's big bomb is going to be part of the attrition game, but it's going to effectively take out Timo's.
All right, so that mountain is not long for this world.
Hilarious that is the thing that's going to matter.
Yeah, I mean, it is just perfect. Galactus just destroying lands. That's just kind of what he does, right? So now we have King.
Combat.
Wait, he should play a land here.
Land.
He should play a land.
Oh. He needed to play that
Oh,
land.
he has Undercover Scroll, excuse
What?
me.
Oh,
He has
okay, he's got
Undercover
the scroll. Good.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And now we're going to see the supervillain lockup,
Right.
and then we're going to see the activation of Kingpin's
Right.
Enforcers. Ken saw all of this coming,
18.
and he gets the land, and he
Right.
also triggers the Kang.
Yeah, you get that drain as well. I still think I would have liked to have a 3/3 scroll that can block, right?
Rather than
just
just
play the
not
land.
playing the land.
Yeah. Especially because with the Kingpin Enforcers in play, having a decent amount of lands to play with also seems pretty nice.
Is Ken trying to keep that in hand
For
to
conniving,
connive it away?
possibly.
I mean, every card matters at
Sure.
this point.
Yeah, I mean, you're
Yeah.
kind of committing to it, yeah.
I mean, he basically is saying, I'm going to get rid of this thing with an attack from Kang. This is going to be a mountain, right?
Oh, gosh, that would be brutal. The land destruction mode here, making it so Timo's Thor just... Because Thor would just be so, so strong here.
Wow.
Okay.
This ghost. Oh, that's
Yeah.
interesting. Is there? Oh, there's still Cruel Lines and Web up here for Ken.
Right, but you
So
can flash it in end of turn to at least get some damage end of turn. right? And then when you attack with the ghost and you move the sturdy shield over, that's 4 damage coming in.
That's right.
And Ken taking 4? Excuse me, 5.
He took it?
Yeah, he took it here, so he is now at 5 life.
Whoa.
Whoa, I mean, we're
that
talking...
ghost could thieve a game.
Absolutely. Now, the king...
Does Ken go for a Cruel Alliance on? Is there anything Cruel Allianceable here that he maybe just would want to gain the 3 life on anyway?
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. probably. That's the most annoying thing in play because it does pump the... it just kind of pumps any individual attacker, right? It's kind of like killing a sturdy shield. And you get to gain 3 life.
Yeah, there's a Cruel Alliance on the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. And he did pay for teamwork as well. That's going to be really important here. That ghost can steal a bit of damage that Ken doesn't have currently a way to deal with, at least at instant speed.
Yeah, and the nice thing about doing this as well is it unlocks the board where you can safely attack with the king and not have a double block set up where it would die.
Oh, that too. Yeah, huge. I'm really curious about that undercover scroll tap from before. Like, would he have double blocked on U.S. Agent John Walker?
Certainly could have, yeah.
Yeah, like maybe put the enforcers and the scroll, and then you gain the 2 and only lose 1 creature.
Yeah, I think Ken just really valuing the connive from the king, recognizing how long these games go and every resource mattering.
Yeah, it's not to point out a mistake. It's to say, this is what what he's valuing. It's one thing versus another.
Right. It was very intentional. He didn't forget to play a land. I think it was more, I want to hold that land for all the different connive cards I might have to play. But of course, Ken still needs to be very mindful of his life total here. Timo has 3 cards in hand. It's like, what can he have here?
Combat.
Does have supervillain lockup.
All right, King getting in.
Timo says, hold on a second. I may want to fire this lockup up right away.
Right. You still would get a connive, but you don't get the drain.
Right.
But
triggers on the stack.
It triggers on the stack. And then, of course, Ken, at any moment, can choose to sacrifice the Gorilla to get it back.
Yes, at any sorcery speed moment, he may decide to do that.
Yeah.
And he probably will.
Right.
But in the meantime, he does get to resolve the connive bit. As you mentioned, Paul, he won't get the additional bonus from King of the Drain.
Yep. Going with the connive here.
And it's just another land. See, this is really showing why Ken Yukuhiro value just having any additional lands in hand, because when you start to flood out, you see the benefit.
Yeah, look, I might not play another land for the rest of the game here, to be honest. Oh,
he's going to gain the 1 life.
It's like, I'll play a land if it gains me a life.
Yeah, that makes sense. That will probably be the last land he plays, though, unless he doesn't have any other way to get through his library. He's going to have to just pass a turn here. Is there a web up target that he cares about?
No, I don't think so. And then, of course, if he passes, Timo can run out that ghost and at least get in for 1 turn here. And then once the ghost is in play, I imagine Ken will have to use that web up on the ghost.
Oh, he's going to web up?
No,
okay. He's going to go for the Quinjet.
Okay. Just
everybody breathe.
Right. Just flyer.
On the stack.
And what is he saying with that on
in
the
response?
Stack? Yeah.
That way you can't get We Say Thee Nade.
That's right. So he's going to let the Quinjet resolve.
Yeah. Heads up.
Ken
play
only
here.
had 1 mana available for that brief window.
Yeah, while the Quinjet was on the stack. And now for Timo, this is your game plan, right? It's like, okay, I'm gonna move the sturdy shield over to the ghost, but certainly not. I mean, technically a 3-turn clock, but not going to be enough given the fact that Ken does have that web up in hand.
No, it's definitely Timo's best plan.
Right.
Just won't get across the line this particular time.
And with
then
all
he's going to move it back.
Yeah, with all the mana here. And Timo still with that Thor in hand, unable to cast it. I suppose never even found a second red source anyways. And there is the sideboard card that you mentioned, Wakandan Royal Guard off the top here for Ken Yukuhiro.
He wanted some more beef.
Yeah, and you can put that on the scroll and put 2 counters on that. Ideally, you put it on one of your heroes for the extra counter. And currently there are 2 targets in the Spider-Woman and the Undercover Scroll.
Yeah, Spider-Woman just too juicy of a target for removal as it sits.
I suppose
Right.
I suppose if you care about your life total, could put it
Oh.
on the Enforcer
Just to get that one
just to
counter.
attack.
That's
Because then the Enforcers can attack too, right? There's a 2/2 and a 1/1
Oh,
on
right.
Timo's side of the battlefield.
And this is assuming that he takes down the U.S. agent.
Right, right. You would have to do that as well.
But I guess he's probably got the web up already tagged for Ghost.
Unless he thinks he can erase the Ghost.
Yeah,
by
I mean,
having
with a lifelinker, he could.
Yeah. But I suppose the way you lose this game is somehow Timo has something and just Ghost keeps attacking every turn, right? Given the big gap in life total here.
Ken Yukuhiro sitting at 6 life. He's down a game to Timo Bertram. And he is fighting for his tournament life here.
Yeah.
He's found some really powerful stuff this game. I mean, we literally saw Galactus get to attack this game. But yet, Timo remains at 18. It did have an impact, however.
Right.
Thor, God of Thunder, is a stretch, to say the least, for Timo. And with a mountain that Galactus destroyed, it seems almost impossible to get it on the battlefield unless this game goes the full library. Okay, here's Wakandan Royal Guard now for Ken.
Yeah. Deciding where to put the counters. If you
Yeah.
target the King or the Kingpin Enforcers, it would put a single counter. If you target the Scroll, with 2 creatures in the graveyard, it becomes a 3/3 changeling. It has all creature types, so gets the 2 counters.
And Ken can't really afford to attack with Kang here, can he?
Yeah, yeah. You
Just can't get rid of web up.
Right, and you have no idea what's on top of your deck.
Right. If it was something expendable, maybe you would prefer, but if
Yeah.
it's a land, you have to discard web up or just throw away Kang. That's not going to work.
Right. I suppose you can attack with the Scroll. That would
5/5?
that would, I suppose, trade with the U.S. agent John Walker. And that would be it.
I think if you could get that off the board, you may actually want to do that. But it's also currently holding back everything except for the Ghost just on its own.
Right. Now, Ken hasn't played a land yet.
No, he can play his forest and just web up the Ghost.
I suppose you can also just tap the Quinjet.
Oh yeah, that too.
Yeah.
He could leave forest in hand if he'd like.
Right.
I guess he's looking at does the Quinjet potentially need to block it, in some scenario here.
I mean, this is just a really complicated board state here, and this is a very, very close decision on what to target. He's going to cast the web up. He's just trying to figure out, do I try to go for some kind of tempo play here and just get U.S. Agent John Walker off the battlefield, make a decent-sized attack and try to race you? Or do I just get Ghost off the battlefield and try to play a longer game here?
Yeah, I mean, it's really difficult because the race does get really interesting with the Kingpin Enforcers, but wow.
All right.
He's actually just going to crew up the Quinjet and jam with both. This is a
attack for
big
8.
attack. It's 8 damage.
So now if Timo double blocks, Ken could, if he could web up the Sturdy Shield
And kill the remaining blocker.
and kill both of the creatures.
And
right?
then that means...
So you deal...
Go ahead.
Oh, I guess it depends on what Timo chooses to double block with. If he wants to get the Scroll off the battlefield, right? If you double block with, no, it doesn't matter either way.
Okay.
Yeah, because if you block with the 2/2 and the 4/4, that's 6/6. That gets to block a 5/5. So you deal 2 damage to the token, and then 3 damage to John Walker, and then you can use the web up to get rid of the shield, and both creatures would die. So curious to see how he assigns the damage. If he does it on the John Walker, that's not going to be the play. It'll be a land web up on Ghost most likely.
Yeah, that's what he's going to do. I think that the problem with the plan, it is nice. That's really good. It also it increases the clock from 2 turns to 3 turns for the Ghost. And then any hits from the Enforcers further that. But if he loses the Enforcers or just can't gain life somehow,
Right.
it gets really sketchy really fast. So it looks like Ken's going to take the safer route and maybe just use the web up on Ghost. I mean, that does leave Timo with not much of a board here.
Right. He's got a 2/2, a 1/1, and a Sturdy Shield. That's it.
Yep.
Yeah. So it needs a big, big draw,
And
but
top
Thor is not
decks,
an option.
Yeah, for Timo Bertram, there are many.
just the plains.
It's off the top. That is torture.
That is rough here. So Ken, very, very close to turning this around and perhaps evening things up here for the deciding game here.
This is where Ken is just holding his breath that he gets to, that basically Timo says, yeah, go.
Yeah, I mean, Timo can't attack, right?
Right.
And
Equip the shield,
you're,
go.
You're not ahead enough to just try to bluff anything here anyways, and Ken is at 6. He's going to block.
Oh,
Yeah.
and he got what he
All
wanted.
right.
Ken Yukuhiro immediately untaps. What can he find here? But remember, he's got Kang at the ready as well. He found a swamp, so.
Yeah, he can certainly just connive something away, drain, get some pretty big attacks here.
Huge attacks.
Yeah. Right now, there's 4 power represented on Timo's side here. The only risky part about this is because you only have a land in your hand, King is not guaranteed to be a 4/5 when you attack.
Absolutely.
And if you discard away a land, then Timo could double block to get the king off the battlefield.
How bad is that for Ken? I guess not that
No,
bad.
not that bad.
He's
He's just
jamming.
like, you know what? This is totally fine. I have all this mana. If you want to make a block where you kill my Kingpin Enforcers, I can just sack it and draw a card. We get the connive here.
What was it?
Another
It was a
land.
forest. Okay.
All right. So
Drano.
drain you for 1. And Timo doesn't have... I mean, he has okay blocks here, but he's going to take a bunch of damage this turn.
Including some lifelink damage.
Yeah, and I guess I would be interested in just, you know, at this point you're so behind. You just go, yeah, I'm just going to try to kill this king here and hope you don't have anything.
Yeah, that's what it feels like. And as you can see, it's a painful situation here for Bertram.
Because that would mean you take 6 damage, and all you would lose is your 1/1 token, right?
Mm-hmm.
Go to 8.
It's a great exchange for Timo to try to get that Kang off the battlefield and maybe open up a top deck.
Yeah, the alternative is if you just want to kill the biggest thing in play, you know, you can certainly block the Royal Guard, or double block the Royal Guard there.
And lose your board.
But you would lose just the 3/4.
Still get a 2/2.
You get to keep your 1/1, and then you can move the Sturdy Shield over there if you'd like.
Yeah.
But
It just seems like Kang's more important.
King just has a larger impact here because you can connive every turn.
It also
and drain.
attacks effectively for 4 anyway.
Right. But the Royal Guard plays offense and defense.
Yep.
Because it has vigilance.
Yeah, are you going to be able to win this race? This is where Timo has to go deep into the tank about the type of cards that he may be able to top deck. I think he recognizes the desperation of this situation. I don't think he's going to be able to race either. He's getting hit by a lifelinker this turn too. Ken's going to end up at 9.
Right, and you can't really allow Ken to just continue sculpting his hand. I think you got to go for the king
I
here.
like this block here from Timo.
Yep.
And of course, if Ken has anything, it just all falls apart.
Right. What's Ken going to look to do here?
He's going to just sacrifice the king.
Okay. Yeah, it's better than just trading it for a 1/1, right? It's like,
Right.
do I kill your 1/1 or do I draw a card?
Oh, and he found Rocks on
Hey.
Brutes too. That's kind of
That's
perfect.
not bad.
He's got the mana for it too.
Yeah, just slam a 5-mana 4/4 menace creature here. No need to land cycle here. Timo needs
He needs
to
a lot.
string together several cards here to come back from this. And by the way, you know, with an active Kingpin Enforcers, things get kind of tricky, right? Because you can sack one of your other creatures and then kind of move around a counter at instant speed if you'd like.
Ken's at
Oh, there's a
9th.
mountain. So the coming of Galactus, the Galactus token. Because imagine if he had the other mountain, he would have been able to stabilize a bit here.
He would have Murdoch's plus hit something for
Right,
Oh, it would have been beautiful.
Unlock your Brave Brawler possibly, right?
And of course, of the 2 red sources left, this is the one untapped one.
Right, so if he top decks the other one, it would come into play tapped. So he would just be very far away from getting that Thor online. So I think this might be it here, or very close to it.
Yeah, he's going to pass the turn back over to Ken Yukuhiro, trying to equalize at 2 games apiece. This is our opening match, by the way.
But it's like a 2-hour match.
It is going to be an awesome day today, I'll tell you that.
Oh, man.
Ken flooding out, but he is ahead on board.
Right. Yeah, I imagine Ken's certainly going to be looking to attack with both of the 4/4s here. Might do something similar, though, where he also attacks with the Kingpin Enforcers. And then is he also considering attacking with the Spider Woman?
Can the Quinjet get in the air?
Because you can't really double block the Spider Woman. Because
can't really afford
you'll
to.
just die, unless Ken is concerned about an instant speed removal spell of some kind. So that's what he has to consider, because if this isn't a lethal attack and the Spider-Woman dies, then of course your Brave Brawler gets unlocked.
There's some also really interesting stuff here with Vigilance on the Royal Guard, crew up the Quinjet, sacrifice it, and then the Roxxon Brute gets to throw a counter somewhere, too.
Right. Yeah, just having access to that Kingpin Enforcers means that just combat becomes close to impossible here.
That's
So
right.
yeah, attacking everything is like, you figure it out.
You figure it out,
I
bud.
have, no matter what happens, I have a pretty good situation here.
That's right. And the cool part is it does need Vigilance here to be able to sacrifice one of the creatures that's not actually attacking.
Right. Yeah, this is one of those
Wow.
spots. I mean, it's basically close to conceding here. I mean, it's basically over. I can't see too many ways for Timo to, unless it has to be something like a card draw spell into more things.
Right.
And he already played out his bold biochemistry.
I know,
thing.
and even that costs 6, so like
Right.
it doesn't leave you
Yeah.
a lot of room for things.
If he has a hero in training, I think we would have seen one by now.
can double check real quick, but no,
No hero in training.
0. Have we seen Photon? I guess it doesn't really matter at this point.
Yeah, without any spells, it would just be a
Yeah.
large flyer. Yeah, so makes the blocks here. So now Ken can do the play that you outlined, right?
Mm-hmm.
Turn the Quinjet on, sacrifice it, and put a +1/+1 counter on the Kingpin Enforcers if you'd like to save it.
This.
Which it feels like you would.
Yeah,
This row.
and that allows you to also just gain 3 life. Don't quite have lethal. Oh, 4 mana? What's going on here? Okay.
No.
Setting a set. Oh, he's just sacking itself. All right, so this gets 6 damage in, but you don't get to gain the life.
Just one.
No, it is a bit more damage this turn,
Right.
though.
Yeah. Take 6.
Oh,
Was that
that is
Ultron?
a great draw. You've got 6 mana lined up there as well.
Ultron drone off the top there, so
Right.
he'll get to add 2 more bodies.
Yeah, and this
All
is,
of them lethal, by
yeah,
the way.
and this game is over.
Yeah, no sweepers here for Timo Bertram, as that's not really a feature of this format. And it looks like game number 5 is
All right.
coming here. Ken Yukuhiro has a big smile on his face because he's really having to work here.
These games are grindy.
No kidding. As you can see, Ken and Timo are getting ready for game number 5.
Yeah, take that drink of water. You have been playing Magic for quite some time now.
5 games on the play.
In one match here.
It's funny, both of them just have to chuckle
Yeah, I mean,
at
these
what a
are
crazy match this
Yeah.
has been. Wow.
these are some great games.
This is what we signed up for with this draft this morning, is incredible gameplay, combining both the long-term control aspects but also combat, right? Super important to understand combat. We saw really nice plays from both players that game.
Well, that's a lot of 5-drops in Timo's hand.
Well, he also mulliganed because he's got Thor, so.
Oh, he's got a blue-red land.
Oh, okay. I take it back.
But
Oh, but no white source? Oh,
No land cycler? You kind of have to throw this one back.
and double Captain Marvel, too.
Yeah.
It's just brutal.
Did he keep?
I doubt it. And Ken looks like he's not keeping either.
So is this Timo on the play? Wouldn't he resolve his mulligans first?
Yeah, you are correct. Paul.
Unless Timo either kept that hand, which is not a great hand, or Timo chose to go on the draw. Just giving Ken a taste of his own medicine.
Okay, so Ken didn't make any changes. You want to know what Timo did?
Add more mountains?
Yep. And hilariously, for this particular thing, you know what he took out?
Planes?
Yeah, that's right. He took out a planes for a mountain, which feels like a small
right.
decision, and it really makes a lot of sense, again, given the matchup.
Right.
Okay, I do see Timo shuffling.
Okay.
But that is painful.
Yeah, no, it absolutely is.
Oh, no, sorry. He was shuffling Ken's deck for him.
So he kept that hand? All right.
He's on the play. He's on the play here.
So Timo on the play with a blue and a red source. No castable cards. If he draws a land, he can play Ultron Drone.
And if he draws a plains, his hand gets kind of unlocked.
Yeah, is he on 17 lands? I suppose if you're, he's also on 17 lands plus 2 land cyclers. No, 3 land cyclers, actually. He's got a burrow backup in there as well, right? So
Okay.
perhaps just kind of playing the numbers and hoping to get there here.
Let's see if he can find a plains or a land cycler. And I think that's
Okay.
a plains right off
Oh,
the top.
that's a plains right off the top.
That
So
is business. Cool customer is Timo
Right.
Bertram, but he's going to be extraordinarily relieved to see that. That means that we have a game here.
we absolutely do.
And
Gorilla.
it's going to be Gorilla turn 2 here for Yukuhiro. What does the rest of his hand look like? Oh, he's got the Queen of Galactus in his hand.
Just found that. He's got a nice curve, actually.
He cannot cast it on curve currently.
No, not yet. Okay, surveilling, probably looking for a land here.
If he finds a black source, then he would be able to.
Can he play that?
Oh, sorry.
No,
Oh, yeah, because
Mistake.
he does not have a basic.
Right. It's funny though because he still has a counterspell, so you can still get your opponent with the
Another
counterspell.
elaborate bluff from
another. Like, he needed to, yeah.
Yeah, this side.
Because they look very similar to the tap lands,
Uh-huh.
but that's the rare land, and you need to have a basic in play to actually have it tap for blue or black, or it taps for blue or black the turn you put it in the battlefield.
Kind of funny.
Yeah,
Ken's even laughing like, how,
Right.
how do I not have the ability to?
you just drew all your non-basics.
Right.
Yeah,
Ultron Drone's going to attack here for Timo.
but Timo doesn't have a play. Hey, Timo just drew 3 lands in a row, by the way.
He did. That was that was really nice. Although
Yeah.
he really would have preferred one of them to be a mountain because then Thor would be online. But you know the way this has gone, he's very likely to be able to cast Thor this game. It's just every game's gone 20 turns plus.
And given that Timo didn't play something there,
Yeah. What is?
that not having the Kingpin Enforcers, you know, depending on where the life totals kind of end up, could be costly, right? You could have just played a forest and had that Kingpin Enforcers in play.
Yeah,
You still
and-
had a land drop for the next turn with the surveillance room, so you could have waited on that too.
What is he going to play here?
I imagine the life linker. Oh no, still.
Now he's going to leave up. We say the nay.
Yeah, but he doesn't even have a instant to play.
Like if Timo doesn't play anything.
Yeah, if Timo doesn't play Captain Marvel,
Yeah, because that already happened
right?
last turn. I mean, I think that, you know, Ken with that misstep there, but he would have gotten bailed out
Right. The question is, does
if he had a we say the nay target. Now, I guess, oh, that was a mountain, I think, right?
yeah, no spells yet in the graveyard, but
Yeah.
hey, brought in a 3rd mountain.
Yep.
Can cast it a little bit
I
better.
love that from Timo. That makes a lot of sense.
And with the backup Captain Marvel, I think you just play out one. I know it can get countered, but you know now you don't have to worry about that. And if you top deck a photon, you can just slam it next turn.
I mean, honestly, I think you're kind of
Right.
somehow happy to see we see the nay out of there because
Yeah.
that is one of the best answers.
Absolutely.
Though the question is, does Timo wait until he actually has something to get back with Thor? I mean, that's really the big punch, right?
Yeah. I mean, on this board state, I imagine he's just going to play out the other Captain Marvel
That's what I
first.
would think too. Although it could get a little bit sketchy if you look in the hand here for Ken. He has Claw Sonic Subjugator.
Oh, and that's for
Roxxon
2.
Brutes is in the
All
yard.
right. Well, then now you're just going to reveal Island Captain Marvel, right?
I guess.
Yeah.
But then do you just play Thor in lieu of doing nothing else?
Yeah.
Kind of feels like it.
Or just hope to draw a land so that you can just pick up the Ultron. Well, actually, no, you're going to have the land, right? Claw only takes one of the cards. It's
So-
going to take Captain Marvel. So if you don't want to play the Thor, you can just play land number 6 and then power up the Ultron drone.
Okay, and then also I wanted to keep track of if Ken has the ability to
play-
cast Coming of Galactus. I have no idea.
Yeah, I believe he does. I see a swamp in play and a blue-black tap land.
So that's and then a
That's
green.
2 black and then a
okay,
green,
So he
so-
doesn't even need to use the surveillance room to do it.
Right.
And sure enough, there goes the second copy of Captain Marvel. But that was a powerful claw right there.
Absolutely.
Nabbing a 5-mana play.
Right.
And what was likely to be Timo's next play, or next spell cast. In this case,
Absolutely.
though, he's probably just going to go for the Ultron drone.
Right.
I mean, you just really want to get your value from Thor, right?
Yeah. Also, we've played 5 really long drawn-out games. Ken has a ton of removal in his deck. You want to try to get a little bit of value from Thor. And now, if you had nothing to do, you might have to play
You
it.
may just do it.
But given that you have land power up, that seems like the better thing to try to go for this turn.
Yeah, it's also slightly more mana efficient.
Yep.
He's going to
There you
use
go.
all 6 mana up this time.
I like this from Timo.
This has been the Ultron Drone mirror match, and it has been really good.
Right, and now Ken.
Does he
I mean,
just
that's a
go?
It's a 4/5. You might just run out the Coming of Galactus here.
I think you do.
Alternatively, I suppose you can just play Wakandan Royal Guard, but if Timo has a removal spell, then you're in a lot of trouble and you take a lot of damage.
Yeah, and you know, the sooner you got the Coming of Galactus out, the better.
But keep in mind, you cast a Claw for 2, and one of the cards revealed was Captain Marvel. The last card in hand, you have to know is better than Captain Marvel. So if you're Ken, is that a read? Do you think he has a Thor as the last card in his hand? It's very likely to be Thor or Monica Rambeau. But if
Yeah.
it was Monica Rambeau, he would have played it already.
So exactly. So here's the question then. What if it was Murdoch's Crusade? Would he rather give up the 5-drop and keep Murdoch's Crusade
I
in
don't think
hand?
so.
Okay.
I don't think
then
so.
Then it had to be Thor or Monica Rambeau
Right.
as the thing. Now he's going to go for Wakandan Royal Guard here and keep the Coming of Galactus as
All
a
right.
removal spell.
Yeah, and this is kind of the risky lance. If Timo has a Murdoch's Crusade, it's really bad. If you put it on the Claw, though, you would have to double block and you would lose one of your creatures. So he's going for the 5/5. Can Timo find a way to get Wakandan Royal Guard off the battlefield?
This turn and continue to apply pressure.
And
U.S. Agent John Walker.
Yeah, and I think this is a really great read here from Ken Yukuhiro. He's like, I know
John Walker's good here,
I know
though,
you have a
right?
great rare in hand. Yeah, yeah. I
He
mean,
can move the shield over and attack still?
so now this is a 5/7. So now you have to double block, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, so you double block.
And it'll trade off for the Wakandan Royal Guard.
Right.
That's a pretty good outcome.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, he took it.
Takes it.
Okay, so now he's just going to go for
He has to,
the Coming
right?
of Galactus.
Yeah, but
unless he draws a removal spell, I guess.
Yeah. 5 damage coming in. Bit of a...
He did actually draw a removal spell. It's Hour of Defeat.
Power of the Feast. So you can just kind of pass here if you'd like, or you can just play the Coming of Galactus. Does he... Oh.
He's playing, so he's going to block with Claw and Sack?
Yeah, he's setting up a block sack here.
Man, Ken is playing for the long game.
Right, absolutely.
100%.
With 2 removal spells in hand, but that is a take up the shield. So, wow, that is protection for the Thor. Now, Timo knows Ken has multiple exile removal
Yes.
spells for the Thor. So, you know, you can't necessarily lean on to take up the shield here as a way to protect your Thor. So curious to see what he does here.
Funny enough, though, it does work against both of the
Right,
removal
it
spells.
absolutely
in hand for
does.
Ken.
It absolutely does.
Yeah, I would say it works on maybe a third of the removal spells that Ken has in his list, and the
Right.
other 2/3 just kind of don't care about it.
And Timo just thinking about some math here, because you could potentially move the shield back over to U.S. Agent John Walker, and then take up the shield would actually kill either of those creatures. But Ken going for the block sack here.
The old block and sack, he finds himself a planes with that.
Yeah, and has access to, next turn, block sack plus Hour of Defeat. And Timo going, okay, this is not looking great for me, but this take up the shield, if I cast take up the shield, I still can't kill anything. I can only deal 2 damage to something if I go Thor plus take up the shield. Alternatively, if you can just cast take up the shield and then play Thor, and then exile to take up the shield just to have that extra spell. But it looks like he prefers keeping the combat trick available, and this is going to work. Ken has Coming of Galactus and Hour of Defeat. If he fires one of those spells off, Timo can protect it with the take up the shield. That would turn.
Would it be lethal?
That would turn Thor into a 6/6.
Yeah.
And you would deal 2 damage to the face off of
That's
the take up the
lethal.
shield. Now so then you would have to attack with the Kingpin Enforcers just to stay alive.
Oh, that's right. And lose it, by the way.
Wow.
This is incredible. But then Ken actually does have the answer after that.
Right, he does.
Oh, man.
Oh,
and he found Frozen in Ice off the top of the library.
Oh my gosh.
What a rip for Ken, and
Oh,
he played it too.
That is brutal. That's the perfect card. Now he had what? Web Up and also Cruel Alliance, but
Yes.
to just be able to naturally draw one of those and still have Hour of Defeat up here. Oh my gosh. I mean, Timo was so close to putting Ken in a really tough spot.
I mean, Ken was going to have to lose his enforcers for nothing just to gain 2
Right.
life. And then Ken would also have to have another removal spell. He did.
Oh my gosh.
Frozen in ice off the top for Ken.
Now
8,
Ken can
14.
Ken can probably attack here.
Yes.
Oh, attacks with both. He's like, you know what? I'm okay gaining some life. I'm okay trading my Kingpin Enforcers with your John Walker. That's what it seems like, at least. Wow.
3 cards.
Unbelievable.
2 cards.
And Ken, just cool as a cucumber, just fires it off and says, I think I know what you have.
Right.
And there's the trade happening.
Yeah.
Ken jumps up to 10. 5
right,
damage
big
comes
trade.
across to Bertram, down to 9.
Has access to the Hour of Defeat, but certainly not going to run. Now, and this is just going to be Ken. I mean, he's probably going to fire it off, and that will swing the race.
Yes.
And so that's going to be rough. So this is still a bunch of damage. No way.
Monica Rambeau.
Photon off the top.
And he has take up the
and he has
shield.
take up the shield.
Are you
You can
kidding
put
me
counters
right
on
now?
everything. Unbelievable. Now this thing flies. It's got hexproof. Ken does not have an answer.
So Ken just has to
Photon.
manage the rest of the board.
He has to
basically?
somehow win the race. How are you going to win the race against Monica
Well,
Rambeau on
I'll
this
tell you,
board?
the coming of Galactus
Sure.
kills one of the threats and then does 2 and 2.
Right, but
maybe Photon can't attack or
but
something.
you have take up the shield to gain a bunch of
Oh,
life.
that's right.
Oh my
Photon
goodness.
living light.
One good top deck deserves another here. Frozen in Ice, the perfect answer here to Thor. But now Timo draws the best card in his deck here in Photon Living Light.
Unbelievable rips. Timo Bertram with Photon Living Light. What can Ken do?
Now he's got to fire off Hour of Defeat in response if you think your opponent has take up the shield.
Which he
because
does.
because that's less +1/+1 counters distributed amongst the creatures.
Absolutely. And he 100% thinks that he's on
Right.
that too.
And-
Now, does Timo just fire it off anyway, though?
Of course,
Yeah.
you just save a giant creature and gain a ton of life.
Yeah.
You still get the surveil here. Wow. And I mean, now what, you're taking 6 damage here? You might need to chump block because of
Wow.
the flyer.
Ken looks upset.
Oh, that is
He thought he
brutal.
had it with that frozen and ice
Oh
off
my
the top.
gosh.
And he knew exactly what was going on. He knew how important that frozen and
I-
ice
I
was
don't-
versus the other cards.
I don't see how Ken comes back from this. I think you have to chump block this because if you take this, you go to 4,
And then you're just dead in the
Monica
air.
Rambeau just kills you.
Yes. But if you chump block this, how are you ever winning this game?
Absolutely. Just the absolute
Nope.
perfect top deck here from Timo Bertram.
He was trying to protect Thor.
Didn't work.
That didn't work out. Instead, he said, well, how about this one
How
then?
about this one? This one doesn't need protection.
Just back-to-back turns, he played his absolute best possible cards. Ken maneuvered beautifully, but it looks like it
Yeah.
won't be enough for Ken Yukuhiro here. How could he ever get out of this mess?
Yeah, he at this point, he's just thinking, what combination of draws do I even have
Right.
to be able to fight Photon?
If you could stack your library,
I suppose if you can find a reach creature or a big enough flyer to block it. But
yes.
remember, there's a sturdy shield in play too. So Photon's potentially a 5/6 flyer next turn.
Yeah, I don't
I don't see it.
I
But
feel like Timo could say, pick up your deck, stack it however you want.
Right.
And maybe even then Ken couldn't win.
yeah, because Ken can't even cast Coming of Galactus next turn, right? If he takes this damage.
No.
He needs to play whatever flyer or something that he draws off the top just to get in the way of this Photon.
Wiccan.
I guess this is where, he did have that option to take. I think there was a Pet Avengers in the draft in Pack 1 where he could have taken it.
Yeah.
Certainly would have worked
I mean,
here.
every pick is
Yeah.
haunting him at this point because you just think what could have been.
Right, but certainly Photon, one of the best cards in the format. Hexproof on a card that just has just an unbelievable effect on the board as well.
Yeah, can't feel too bad. Nobody beats
Yeah,
Photon.
and he has to jump block here knowing because next turn he has to play Coming of Galactus to kill the Ultron drone here.
Draws his card for the turn.
Right, can he find another creature maybe to get in the way?
Serpent
Yeah.
Specialist, actually.
Right, so you're going to kill that. You're going to kill the Ultron drone.
So he has to survive long enough to get Galactus into play as a blocker?
Yeah, but how do you do that?
That takes forever.
Right. He's doing the math here. The problem is you get Galactus on chapter 4. So that's 2 more draw steps of chump blocking Photon or finding some way to not just get run over because the sturdy
he
shield.
can take 2 hits from Photon if there's nothing else.
Well, but
right?
there's a sturdy shield in play that
so
you
he
can
can
move
only
over.
take 2 hits from.
Right, exactly.
Okay.
So now he's killing the shield, actually. Right, killing the shield here because now you can't move the Photon over. However, if Timo attacks with everything, you still go to 4 life.
You do because you just take the extra 2
so
on
it
the
doesn't
ground.
really quite work.
And this, of course,
way.
is all predicated on Timo finding nothing for the rest of the game.
Right, if he just
Like
plays
any spell.
a Murdoch's Crusade.
Murdoch's Crusade, it
or
just all
something.
collapses. Yeah.
Right.
Let's see what Timo found for the turn. He is top decking, so
I mean, it has to be something relevant here. Otherwise, you just attack with everything. But this has been a marathon of a match. Timo probably feels the win coming. Needs to just think through all of the angles here.
yeah, he knows this is his to lose. And he's actually not going to attack on the
look at
ground and
this.
offer that
Because
trade.
Photon is still lethal next turn here and doesn't want to trade his 4/5 for the 1/1.
You
Really
lose
heads
2.
up attack there from Timo.
So a flyer has to happen here.
Herbie.
Herbie.
Right? Herbie to chump for a turn, find you something else. Maybe another
it
Murmur
was
Skull?
Murdoch's Crusade. It's web up.
Oh, it was Murdoch's Crusade. So he has the answer for the coming of Galactus.
He just decided he didn't need to, or he could be
But
patient.
that's not enough, right?
No.
Web up is not enough.
No, web up's not enough. This is
Yeah.
over.
Can you web up the supervillain lockup? You can, right? And get
Yes.
your Gorilla back and it has reach, I suppose.
Yes.
That's your only line.
You found it, Paul. You found it, Paul.
This is brutal, but I mean,
and
it's the
Murdoch's Crusade does not interact with this.
Yeah, so
okay.
I mean, it keeps you alive, but with
But the
that
Murdoch's Crusade is just
Right.
insurance plan for all insurance plans
Yeah.
here from Timo.
Remember, you can put a
Let's go.
+1/+1 counter on everything here off that Murdoch's Crusade.
Right.
If he can find another spell, then that would be a lethal attack because the 2/2 token would also become a 4/4.
Raft
Security officer?
That's a little
Sure.
slow for the win this turn.
Right. Certainly going to play it out here.
Yeah. It can pick up counters.
I mean, it's just so tempting to just play the security officer and just exile the enchantment and just put 3 +1/+1 counters on your creatures. Because
I don't see how you don't
right,
do that.
because the 2/2 then becomes a 3/3, the Serpent Specialist can't even eat it, right? It would trade if you power it up. So I feel like that's what you want to do.
Yeah.
I know you want to maybe get a little greedy and try to also kill a big creature. That's what it looks like Timo's going for here. The Gorilla has to block the Photon. The Serpent Specialist must block the Ultron Drone, and Ken would go down to 2 here.
Yeah, Timo's
All right.
playing it really carefully, but
Yep.
ultimately I think he could just kind of do whatever he wants here because
Right.
this is going to be it. Ken just doesn't have an answer for anything on the board.
Yeah.
And with that Murdoch's Crusade, Timo has 3 lethal threats on the other side of the battlefield. There's just no way to get out of this for
Yeah,
Ken.
and that's it.
Wow, Timo Bertram
man.
is going to win a 5-game match for the ages to start off our top 8 here in Amsterdam. He can't believe it. We can't believe what we just saw. And that is the look of somebody who is relieved.
He needs
That
some
is not
lunch.
joy. That is relief on the face of Timo Bertram because he just had to navigate and against one of the best players in the world. And Ken Yukuhiro played that beautifully here in his 9th top finish. But ultimately, his journey will end here.
Yeah, I mean, what an unbelievable match overall. I think just, greatly played by both sides. Just once you kind of, especially once you get to game 3, game 4, you just know everything that your opponents can play. You can play around every single trick, and that just makes the games really complex. But those mythics certainly carrying the day here. Because, I mean, if Ken goes back and watches that game 5,
Yep.
he's going to be like, I was so close.
Yes.
Right? I was so close to turning that around and winning that match after finding that frozen in ice. But then Monica Rambeau off the top. I mean, that's why you draft the cards, right? Because you put yourselves in position to play those cards. Thor, God of Thunder, actually coming in there, absorbing that removal spell, being impactful. But then, of course, that was the first time Monica Rambeau actually hit the battlefield. And we talked about it before.
Yeah.
If she hits the battlefield, Ken's just going to lose.
Yes. And that could have happened on any of the prior games. That's the one that he's splashing for, that Timo can actually get on the battlefield fairly consistently. We saw varied results with Thor, but we also saw sideboards coming into play here. And it really mattered. Both players recognizing that these games go long, and I want as much punch as possible for Timo. It even came to boarding in an additional mountain just to say, if this game goes 15 turns, I'm going to get this Thor on the battlefield. That's exactly what happened there. And then on the other side, we saw another 5-drop come in there for Ken, because he says, I just need more powerful things to do late in the game.
Yeah, he brought in the Echo and then brought in, of course, the Wakandan Royal Guard. Perhaps also just putting in another 4-toughness creature to bait maybe a Murdoch's Crusade, so the coming of Galactus can also survive, right? Just putting more beef into the deck there. But yeah, I think that bringing the extra mountain, he probably should have just had that extra mountain in there in the first place,
maybe,
if you want to play the Thor. But that 1-2 punch of casting a Murdoch's Crusade at some point in the game into Thor, into Murdoch's Crusade is just so hard to come back from. Really, really important to be able to resolve that card.
Yeah, and it was really good in this particular matchup as well. With that Thor, I think my inclination would be to leave it in the sideboard and then to have brought it in during the matches where it's going to go long, and I would probably bring it with a mountain. That I think you'd be better off with a binary of, I'm just not bothering all the way up until, okay, I'm actually going to have a chance to cast this, because right away after game 1, it felt like this is the matchup where Thor's actually going to be really good, and that's what we ended up seeing. Okay, well, we've got Timo with Riley right now.
I'm here with Timo Bertram in the feature match area after a marathon 5-game match there against Ken Yukuhiro, one of the best in the world. Timo, how are you feeling right now? Triumph, or is it just relief?
Obviously very relieved. Fantastic player. I felt like I had a deck edge here. I feel like my deck is very good, but obviously fantastic player. Everything can happen. 5 very long games. Finally, I was on the play all 5 games, but it was great and very relieved now.
Got across the line in the end, but talk us through you say that you feel like your deck had a slight edge. Talk us through the draft and how you felt after your deck came together.
Sure. So my first pick was the Monica. So obviously very good card. Puts you very firmly into white with, like, you can splash it or be red-white. Got a lot of white cards. I think the deck is great. Last pack opened up a Thor, which didn't super fit into the deck, so I'm splashing it with a little bit of hope and prayers, but I feel like the deck's nice.
Well, those hopes and prayers, did you all right so far? One final question. How are you feeling in, like, confidence-wise heading into the semi-finals? There are some really experienced and talented players in this top 8. This is your second Pro Tour ever. So talk to us about how you're feeling for the semis, maybe beyond.
Obviously, still a little bit nervous here playing against all of these fantastic players, but I feel like I got a good deck, and looking forward to whatever happens from here.
Well, we're looking forward to seeing you continue to play. Timo, congratulations. Best of luck in the semi-finals.
Thank you.
All right, that's going to do it for our first quarterfinal match.
Wow.
But we do have more. All the rest of our quarterfinals are coming your way right after this break.